Hey Commodores fans, welcome into the pregame show. Falmouth taking on the Harbor Hawks here on this Monday evening. David Korzanowski joined alongside Danny LaRose. We've seen this script before. The Commodores lose last night 7-0, and they come to Hyannis the next day. Danny, a similar story last week after the blowout against Bourne.
Yeah, it's kind of blunt to say, but Hyannis is a slump buster for a lot of teams. I mean, some teams come into Hyannis and they have field days because this pitching staff is by far the worst in the Cape, and that pays dividends for teams that are struggling offensively. I don't want to say Falmouth's struggling offensively, but when you get shut out the previous night, obviously something's got to change, and it's great that they get to come to Hyannis in a ballpark that is favorable against a pitching staff that has been struggling, and they get to do that because, like you said, last time they got shut out 14-0 to Bourne, they responded with an 8-1 victory, double-digit hits. Zach Deloach with 2 bombs. I mean, he went 0 for yesterday, so he's due for like 90 hits today. So, I mean, signs are good for the Commodores to bounce back.
One of the coaches who has been so vocal in the dugout during off days as well is Ryan Eiley. First year with the Commodores, he played in the Australian Baseball League, is the first base coach for Jeff Trundy's squad, and Katie Florio is talking to the assistant coach about the team's mentality after the loss last night. Katie. Awesome. Thank you, Katie and Coach. Danny, let's look at the pitching matchup now. A pitcher that the Commodores have seen before in Connor Ash, and their ace on the mound in Franco Alemán.
Yeah, so let's start with Franco. I mean, he's the ace because he is an all-star. No earned runs allowed on the summer. But his last time out, he got hit around a little bit. It was a game that got washed away. Only got through an inning in the third. Falmouth was leading 7-2. 2 runs were scored in the first inning because Franco let up a lot of hits. He let up 7 hits the previous time before that. So despite him getting away with some spots, getting into jams, getting himself out of it, has been a lot of contact made against Franco. And this Hyannis team, they're a good hitting team. I mean, that's their bread and butter. That's their MO. Don't have a lot of wins because their pitching lets them down, but they hit the ball a lot. Meanwhile, on the other side, Connor Ash, like you said, he's thrown 7 innings of work on the season just versus the Commodores. His last time against the Doors, 4 innings of work, allowed a couple of runs. Did allow 4 walks that time around, so a walk per inning. His walk number's not too high, but against the Doors they seem to be. And we'll see if they can get to him in this ball game because he will be starting the last couple of times. He didn't start, he came on in relief. Those were in a tie and in a win for Hyannis. We'll see if him pitching and starting will make a difference for the Commodores early in the game.
Hyannis and Falmouth are an even 500 against each other this year. The Commodores have won a game, the Harbor Hawks have won a game, and they tied once back at the beginning of the season. Tonight is matchup number 4 of 6, and the second here at McKeon Park. First pitch coming up right after this. For Katie Florio and Danny LaRose, I'm David Korzanowski. See you in just a minute.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30 plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape. The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the new short rib tacos or New England fried shrimp. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30 plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape. Good evening and welcome to McKeon Park. Falmouth Commodores taking on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for the 4th time this season as we get ready to get underway. 6:39 the local time. The reason for the delay, umpires were delayed in getting to the park. This game was originally scheduled to be on June 20th, and perhaps the fact that it was a makeup led to a little bit of confusion with the umpires. Tonight they are just 2 of them. Larry Rosenberg at home plate, Nick Zamelli out in the field. Danny will look at the Falmouth batting order. Again, Hayden Cantrell, who is on your screen in that graphic, will not be starting tonight. He was a last-minute scratch for Tim Tawa, who will be leading off and playing second base. Austin Maisel in the 2 spot, Zach DeLoach at number 3. Otherwise, a pretty consistent lineup for Jeff Trundy's squad.
Yeah, seems like we always see a center fielder in the 2-hole, even when it's not Blake Dunn, as he gets another day off in favor of Maisel. Dunn has been struggling recently. Austin getting the nod, as he's been pretty consistent. Again, like you said, Cantrell not going to be playing in this ball game. He was a very late a pull from the lineup. They throw in Tim Tawa, but Tawa's been pretty good as well. So Cantrell, obviously, you love to have him in the lineup, but Tim has been solid recently. And then as you look further down the lineup, it gets a little bit different. I mean, Jackson Coots at first base. Haven't seen him in a couple of days. Troy Claunch catching. Barron Radcliffe back in the DH role after getting the day off yesterday. Langworthy back out in left after getting a day off yesterday. So some guys getting days off today, like Dunn, Cantrell. Other guys we haven't seen since the weekend getting back in.
Commodores coming off of a 7-0 loss last night out at Red Wilson Field against the Whitey Red Sox. Hyannis also coming off a defeat out at Veterans Field against the Chatham Anglers. The score of that game was 4-1. As we'll take a look at the starting pitcher for Hyannis, it's Connor Ash, someone we talked about in the pregame show. His ERA at 8.21. His record is 0-1. But Danny, the Commodores have seen him a couple of times.
Yeah, Connor Ash throughout his summer has faced the Doors more so than he has most other teams, as he's faced Falmouth twice now. The first time, 3 innings of work, allowed only 1 hit, only 1 walk, 5 Ks. He looked phenomenal, but that was also all the way back on June 14th when pretty much no one across the Cape was hitting too much. The last time he faced Falmouth, it was in a 10-4 Hyannis victory, but Ash didn't really have his best stuff. He threw 4 innings, 3 runs, 2 hits, 4 walks is the biggest thing to point out to that. His walk numbers on the summer, only 12. But again, 4 walks, a third of them coming in 1 outing against the Doors. This is a very patient Falmouth team. They walk a lot, and they're for sure going to be looking to do that against Ash. I'm sure they remember that he couldn't hit the strike zone.
Hunter Goodman, the catcher, pops and throws down to second base, and we are just about underway. 6:41, the local time. A little bit of a discombobulated beginning to this game as we are about 40 minutes delayed at McKeon Park, but just about underway. Tim Tawa, the righty second baseman who is leading off for Falmouth, steps into the batter's box. Connor Ash, who had to keep that arm warm out in the Hyannis bullpen, settles on the mound. He's a righty pitcher from the University of Missouri. He works in the windup and throws the first pitch, which is fouled away. 0-1.
David, I would be surprised, and I know this is the 3rd day in a row that we're saying this, but I'd be surprised if we see another pitcher's duel. Just because, I mean, these 2 pitchers are phenomenal, but the fact that they had to get warm, got cold, get warm again, that totally throws off your momentum and your routine on the game, and I wouldn't expect either Aleman or Ash to really be completely ready.
Second pitch to Tawa is high and away for a ball, count even at 1-1. Falmouth wearing their road blacks with the maroon lettering and gray pants. Hyannis, their home white pinstripes with the red cursive script across the front and the blue cap with the orange cursive H on the front. Tim Tawa calls for time. He steps back out, takes a practice hack, taps the plate with the head of his bat, and is in for the 1-1 count. Ash delivers. Fastball. That's again lofted out of play. 1-2. Defensive alignment for the Harbor Hawks. Trevor Hoover, the outstanding left fielder from Arizona State, is back out in left. Rowdy Jordan from Mississippi State in center. Rigsby Mosley in right. Ash the 1-2. This one popped on the infield over towards the second baseman, Anthony Servideo. He fields it in shallow right field for out number 1. Finish off that defense for the Harbor Hawks. Jackson Olsen over at the hot corner at third. Jordan Westberg, shortstop from Mississippi State. Anthony Servideo, who made the first put out of this game at second. And Ian Fair, who was cut and then re-added to this Hyannis squad, is at first base. Hunter Goodman doing the catching for Ash. Austin Maisel, lefty from Holy Cross, takes a big hack at the first pitch. He can't connect. 0-1. Maisel, a guy 2 for his last 6. Strikeout numbers have been up lately for Maisel. His average is at 395 as ball 1 skips in the dirt. Tied for the team lead in batting average with a substantial amount less than the leader, Zach DeLoach. Maisel with 38 at-bats. Zach DeLoach double that at 76. Third pitch is high and in as Maisel limbos away from that pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
Again, patience is going to be the name of the game for the Doors early. They're going to want to see a lot of pitches from Ash and see if he can establish the strike zone. He did against Tawa, but not so far against Maisel.
Maisel watches another ball low. He's got a hitter's count at 3-1. Maisel has faced Connor Ash once before. It was in the first matchup of the year between these 2 teams, and Maisel won the battle. He got a hit. Maisel has the green light on 3-1. He just gets a piece, and it's back into the screen. A full count.
Helmet almost flew off when he took that swing. Maybe it's the hair. We see his hat fly off a ton when he's in the outfield, but also because he took a very big swing, was kind of out ahead of it, took his head a little bit off the ball. Whenever that happens, you typically don't make strong contact, in case being there that he tips it.
Ash looks into Goodman, agrees on a pitch, brings the glove in front of his face, and delivers. Here's a hard hit ball over towards short, but it's caught on a line by Jordan Westberg. 2 down.
Great contact by Maisel. He goes with where the pitch was, just puts it into the worst spot you can imagine, right at Westberg, who barely had to move a muscle and was basically catching a toss from one of his teammates. That's how that one looked, as he catches it right about eye level. But I really like the way Austin's been swinging his bat all season, and especially as of late. Nothing has really been looking like he's trying to do too much. Goes with a lot of pitches, gets a lot of line drive contact, which is exactly what you want to see.
Zach DeLoach had a field day the last time he was here at McKeon Park. He had 2 home runs, first pitch swinging into the left center field gap, extending, and it's past the glove of Rowdy Jordan. Zach DeLoach is into second with a stand-up double on the first pitch he sees in that at-bat.
Something about being in Hyannis means Zach DeLoach is going to just unload. As the very first pitch he sees from Ash, he wastes no time rocketing into left center. Didn't get too much on it. I mean, that one was still well short of the wall, but he put it in a great spot. Rowdy Jordan had no chance playing in dead center, and he couldn't come up with the catch on a full extension dive, and DeLoach continues to get extra bases against this Harbor Hawks team. And I don't know what it is with Hyannis, but he's got that Hayden Cantrell bug where he just beats up on the Hawks.
6th double of the year for Zach DeLoach, just named the Coca Cola Offensive Player of the Week. Here's a ball hit by Cruz, past Servideo. Here comes a throw to the plate, not in time as Zach DeLoach slides in for the first run of the game. It's 1-0 Falmouth.
2 pitches, 2 hits, and a run for Falmouth as they completely go contrary to what I expected from them and take a lot of pitches from Ash, see if he could throw strikes. They saw the strikes that he was throwing early on, and they decided to go with it. Trey Cruz, great piece of hitting on a down-and-in fastball, puts it right through that hole on the right side, which is where you want to do it, where you want to put it on a down-and-in pitch, and Zach DeLoach with 2 outs, going to waste no time coming around and scoring. Great work by the 3 and 4 hitters, doing exactly what 3 and 4 hitters need to do.
Cruz notches up his 15th RBI of the summer, now tied for the team lead with Zach DeLoach. 1-0 Doors after a double from DeLoach and a single from Cruz, both with 2 outs. Connor Ash is going to step off the mound, adjust his hat, and settle back in. He's working from the stretch against Troy Claunch. 178 average for the catcher from Oregon State on the summer. Trey Cruz with 2 hits last night. He extends his hitting streak to 6 games. He was the lone offense for Falmouth last night. They scored no runs on 2 hits, both from Cruz. And the Doors also had 3 errors in a game they would like to forget. So far, it seems like distant memory as they've pounced on Hyannis early. Off-speed misses high to Claunch, 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, as many hits as they had all day yesterday already in the first inning is definitely putting that out of memory, as that's typically what you see in summer ball. A lot of short-term memory. Things aren't really taken as seriously, which lends itself to teams not having prolonged successes, but also not having prolonged miseries, as Falmouth is able to bounce back quickly.
Check on Cruz at first. Close play and a nice pickoff move from the righty, Ash. But Cruz is in safely. Troy Claunch, also a guy who's struggled at the plate as of late. 0 for his last 7, 1 for his last 13. This is his first start against Hyannis. Foul ball, 1-1.
So maybe that's the key. I mean, I said it in the pregame that when Falmouth plays Hyannis, when a lot of teams play Hyannis, it's usually a bounce-back day. Usually they're able to put together big wins. The offenses erupt, and maybe that's the key for Troy Claunch is get him against Hyannis, get some confidence in him after maybe a multi-hit game that he can produce, and see where he goes from there.
Hyannis 5th in the West as another ball misses from Ash. The count now 2-1. 5th in the West with a record of 6-21-1. It has been a struggle for the Harbor Hawks this season. A team that finished 2nd in the West last year has the worst team ERA in the Cape by a long margin.
Yeah.
7.17 as a staff. Falmouth, on the other hand, a game above 500 as another foul ball is poked back into the screen. They are 13-12-1. A 1-1-1 record against Hyannis and a 6-6 record on the road.
And somehow that Hyannis ERA was even higher the last two times.
Yeah.
The last time these two teams faced, it was 7-9-2 on July 9th, the last time they played each other.
Falmouth won that game 8-1. Here's the 2-2. Curveball, strike three. Troy Clanch has been bit by the strikeout bug as of late. He goes down by way of the K to end the first inning, but a two-out rally from Deloach and Cruz lends itself to 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. To the bottom of the first we go on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Coming back a little early for the bottom of the first inning as Franco Aleman gets set to toe the rubber. First, we'll walk you through the Hyannis batting order. Leading things off, Jordan Westberg, the shortstop for Mississippi State, followed by Rigsby Mosley, who's playing right, batting second. Trevor Hoover from Arizona State, playing left, batting third. The cleanup man is Hunter Goodman, with a whopping 26 RBIs on the summer. Jared DeSantolo, a fellow All-Star with Goodman, is DHing, batting fifth. Ian Fair in the 6th spot, playing first. Jackson Olson, Anthony Servideo, and Rowdy Jordan round out the order. Olson at third, Servideo at second, and Jordan in center field.
What's really incredible about this lineup right now is that we've said it multiple times, Hyannis is pitching pretty bad, but their hitting usually keeps them afloat. Last year it definitely did. Their pitching was towards the bottom of the Cape, but they hit the cover off the baseball. This year they kind of had the same thing going. They just couldn't keep up with the bats, and right now their bats are really lagging behind.
Yeah.
Going through this lineup, just about everybody had gotten into a slump. Last time these teams faced off, Hyannis was hitting pretty well, and then it seemed like that game was a turning point in the negative direction for the Harbor Hawks as, I mean, since then, boy, you look up and down this lineup, Westberg has begun to struggle. Hoover has been really brutal lately. Rowdy Jordan still hasn't gotten that much going for him. Even Goodman has dropped off a little bit. There were so many guys I was going through that have really gotten into a cold stretch, so nothing working for Hyannis right now.
Harbor Hawks have lost 5 of their last 6. In their last 5 games, they have scored 9 runs total. Their highest run output in the last 5 was 3 runs against Chatham. They scored just 1 last night. Team batting average has been lagging as well, now at .238 as a squad, 7th in the Cape League. Strike number 1 from Aleman tags the outside black to the righty Jordan Westberg. And Aleman has been exceptional, Danny, something we hit on early with that 0 ERA.
And he's gotten lucky a couple times because of it, and we'll get to that in a sec after this pitch.
The 0-1 is off speed. That misses low and away to even the count.
Because there have been 2 separate occasions on which Franco Aleman would have lost that perfect ERA, one of them being June 20th here in Hyannis, went 4 1/3 innings before the rain came and washed it away. He allowed an earned run in that game. It was 1-1 when the game got called.
1-1 is swung on and missed, 1-2.
And then his last game, and granted, you know, that also messes up Franco's routine as well, but last game against Bourne, an inning and a third, he let up 2 earned runs. So now that's 2 separate occasions in which he has nearly lost his earned run perfection, but regained it.
Aleman, the tall righty, from the windup, delivers a fastball that's over his head, up the middle, fielded by Tawa, throw over, it's over the glove of Jackson Coots at first. Would have been a tough play for Tim Tawa, and Rowdy Jordan is aboard with nobody out.
Yeah, again, like you said, would have been a tough play as he had to come all the way to his right and field it right by that second base bag, and then still on the run, throw it across his body to first base with the speedy Westberg going. So they're going to rule it as a hit, and can't blame him too much. I mean, with a good throw, Westberg is definitely out, but it's just such a difficult play that they're giving Tawa the benefit of the doubt.
Tawa fielded that right at about the second base bag and threw on the run. It went out off the glove of the first baseman, Jackson Coots. Aleman now working from the stretch against Rigsby Mosley with a .246 average. He swings at the first pitch and skies it into right center. DeLoach moves over to his right. He trots in and makes the catch, 1 down. Defense for the Commodores, Langworthy out in left, Austin Maisel in center field for the first time in recent memory. Zach DeLoach manning his familiar territory in right. Trey Cruz, all-star selection at third base, but I believe this is just his 3rd start at the hot corner.
It is, yeah.
Kevin Kendall at short, Tim Tawa at second, Jackson Coots at first. And behind the plate, one of 3 catchers for the Commodores, along with Taylor Smith and Matt Nelson getting the start today, is Troy Claunch. Trevor Hauver, .215 average on the summer, takes a fastball for a strike on the inside part of the plate.
Hauver's one of those guys I highlighted when I was saying how Hyannis has really been struggling offensively lately, and boy has he. 1 for his last 11 and 7 strikeouts in those last 11 at-bats. Just real brutal stretch for Hauver.
Hauver with just 3 multi-hit games this year. Running on the pitch, throw down from Claunch, tag, got him! Westberg tried to swipe second, but a nice throw by Claunch and a good tag by Kevin Kendall at short for the second out.
And as much trouble that Troy Claunch has had at the plate, you might wonder, why is he in the lineup? He's batting below 200 because defensively, this guy is a stud. He blocks just about everything when he gets down, and his arm is a cannon. He and Matt Nelson going tit for tat with how many runners they can throw out at second, because Claunch just seems like every single time somebody tries to run on him, he's gunning him down.
Ball misses low and inside to Hauver, who now has a 2-1 count. 3 doubles, 1 home run, 11 RBIs on the summer for the lefty from Arizona State. He watches another ball and is ahead in the count, 3-1. Hauver 3 for 12 against the Commodores. He and the Harbor Hawks put up just 1 against Falmouth the last time these 2 teams squared off. Fastball is swatted foul, full count. Franco Aleman, righty pitcher who stands at a mighty 6'6", weighing in at 220 pounds. Spent his freshman year at Florida International. Next year will be at St. John's River College, is that correct?
St. John's River State College.
I always mess it up.
There's a
St.
lot.
John's River State College,
There's
a
a lot of
junior
words.
college for his sophomore year. And then if he doesn't declare for the draft or sign after that, he will go to the University of Florida for his junior campaign. Fastball is again poked foul. Count stays full.
Will he be eligible to get drafted or sign after his sophomore year?
Yeah, out of JUCO.
Can you draft? Can you sign whenever out of JUCO? Oh, okay. I still thought you had to be 21.
Aleman, originally from Cuba, grew up in Tampa, Florida. The 3-2. Off speed, misses low. Hauver was taken the whole way. He trots down to first base with a walk and 2 outs.
So a little bit of a rocky start for Franco. I mean, the single from Westberg didn't get out of the infield, and then Hauver works a really good at-bat, works at 3-2, and finally gets on base after some close pitches that he took. Franco still looking great because, like, those 2 at-bats, not really too brutal, but at the same time, he's not the same Franco Aleman that was lights out at the beginning of the year, because we've said it a couple times before throughout the season that early in the year, it just looked like he was the best pitcher you could have ever faced. And then as time wore on, teams started to see him more. They started to figure him out little by little.
Pitching from the stretch against Goodman, he fires a fastball past the catcher who's batting cleanup tonight. Hunter Goodman, first on the team in RBIs by a large margin with 26. He leads the Cape League. Next highest, Austin Wells and Nico Cavadas tied with 22 ribbies each. The 0-1 is nubbed over towards third base. Cruz fields it and throws on the run. Beautiful strike from Trey Cruz. Says he hasn't played third base since high school. Could have fooled me there. Beautiful play from the third baseman. And Aleman allows no runs on 1 hit. No errors, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks leave 1 left on base. It's 1-0 Falmouth as we head to the second on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Urgent Care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30 plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
After one inning, it is 1-0 Falmouth. We are an hour past when this game was supposed to start, 7 o'clock here in Hyannis, Massachusetts. Nice day today, Danny. Wasn't too hot. Sun is set well, and probably low 70s, I would guess.
Yeah, it's not anything like yesterday where we were melting in our seats.
Yeah.
That YD field just seems like it gets so much hotter
Oh
than
my
everywhere
goodness.
else.
Yeah. It's got to be the hottest field in the league, right?
Yeah. Here at Hyannis, it was a little hot when the sun was beating right down on us pregame, but
Yeah.
then now it's okay.
If anything, Hyannis gets cool
Yes,
because it's
absolutely.
very close to the ocean here to the south of us. As we get ready for inning number 2, Jackson Coots, Barron Radcliffe, and Austin Langworthy due up. Coots batting .270 on the summer. 2 extra base hits, a double and a triple for the lefty from Rhode Island. Ash, the 5'11 junior with the Missouri Tigers, delivers the first pitch. It's a curveball that stays about eye level at Coots. 1-0.
Been a little while for Jackson. He hasn't started since July 10th. Seen some appearances in a couple games since then, but not really too many at-bats. He sees very sparing time because you look at the rest of this lineup, there are like 5 other guys who could be playing first base.
Right. The 1-0 is a fastball about shin high to Coots. He's quickly up 2 balls and no strikes. Ash with about a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, 25 Ks, 12 walks. He's had a couple 2- and 3-ball counts so far this game. Here's a hard hit ball out into right field. It's fielded and caught by the sliding Rigsby Mosley. Thought that was going to get down, but a nice play by Mosley out in right.
I thought that was going to get down as well because it was such a low pitch, and Jackson pulled it into right field on a very sharp line. I thought it was going to die, and all of a sudden it just seemed to rise up on a plane and keep going up. A weird off-the-bat angle, I guess you could say, a launch angle for Coots, and that hurts him as Mosley was able to come in and make the catch. I don't think Mosley was expecting to be able to catch it on a line because he was preparing to slide all the way in order to just be able to make contact with it.
Barron Radcliffe takes a curveball at the belt for strike 1. Radcliffe hitless in his last start. He was 0 for 3. But before that, he had a couple games in a row where he was on an absolute tear. Big swing. He fouls it away, 0-2. Highlighted by that game against Chatham. A double, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Had 2 RBIs the night before that, so had 10 ribbies in the span of 2 games.
Yeah, one of those games was against this Hyannis team. Those 2 RBIs coming on a 1 for 3 night.
Radcliffe, the big lefty from Georgia Tech, calls for time and steps out of the box. And if he can get going, Falmouth would love to see him a little bit higher up in this batting order. He's just got to be a little more consistent. Ball 1 misses low to Radcliffe.
Yeah, consistency is the name of the game for Barron because when he had that Chatham game, I was like, all right, this is the turning point. Now Barron is going to be the home run king. He's going to be in the Derby. This is great. And then he comes back and he has a couple strikeouts, 0 for 4 against Brewster the day after. So you never know what you're going to get with him.
Ball 2 stays at the ankles of Radcliffe. He batted just .195 during his sophomore year down in Atlanta with 23 hits, 5 doubles, 4 home runs. From Peachtree Corners down in Georgia, went to Norcross High School. The 2-2 from Ash. Fastball, foul down the first base line.
You'd like to see that. You'd like to see him not going down on 3, 4 pitches like we were seeing from him earlier in the season. He's still striking out at a pretty frequent pace, 5 strikeouts in his last 3 games played, but a lot more long at-bats like this one.
2-2 is a curveball that he fends off to stay alive. Radcliffe's father, Vic, in town, as a bunch of Commodores parents have made the trip up to the Cape.
Yeah, this is almost like vacation week.
Yeah. Mid-July, and why not? Weather has been beautiful outside of the rainout against Bourne. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Looked like a changeup that stayed low. Second K of the game for Connor Ash.
So it's still slow going for Barron, who continues to strike out a lot. Like I was saying, he's starting to work longer counts. He's getting more hits, less strikeouts, but he's still keeping that strikeout number high. So there's got to be something that changes. It's been slow and sure throughout the season. He's been working a lot with Brett Becker, trying to tone down on them, but there's still a little bit more work to be done.
Austin Langworthy, the third-year Commodore with just a 157 batting average, is up for the first at-bat. He takes a curveball inside. 1-0. Langworthy, a rising senior at Florida, who is 2 for his last 16. Another curveball. This time it's a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, you can tell he's frustrated with some of his swings that he's put together. Looking during BP, he was just swinging for the fences every time. He's waiting for that power to kick in and just wants to see some high balls, some fireworks.
Ground ball towards first base. Easy fielded by Ian Fair, who underhands it to the running Connor Ash. He taps the bag with his right foot, and it's a 1-2-3 inning worked by the righty from Missouri. Commodores score no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we head to the bottom of the second on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the new short rib tacos or New England fried shrimp. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Jared DeSantolo, Ian Fair, Jackson Olsen coming up to bat for Hyannis in this bottom of the second inning. Hyannis had a couple base runners in the first. Westberg led off with a single, but then was thrown out stealing second. Haver worked a walk, but he stayed there as a ground out from Hunter Goodman ended the inning. DeSantolo, one of 3 All-Stars on this Hyannis team. He watches a changeup skip in the dirt for a 1-0 count. He's batting .316 on the summer with a double and a home run. He, Hunter Goodman, and Tyler Madison, the 3 who will be playing on Sunday at Eldridge Park. Strike 1 on the outside black.
And DeSantolo has been pretty good against Falmouth. He had a 7-game hitting streak the last time these two teams played, but right now he doesn't have a hit in his last 3 games played, seeing if he can get that magic against Falmouth again.
Ground ball over to Coots. He's far off the bag, so Aleman trots over. He gets it from Coots and taps the bag for the first out. Ian Fair strolls up to the dish. Righty first baseman from Northeastern. A .444 average this summer, and I hit it on at the beginning of the game, but he was a guy who was cut by the Harbor Hawks and then re-added. He's been great since. 4-game hit streak. As he will get it to 5. Single up the middle past the outstretched glove of Aleman. He's aboard with a 1-out single.
How about that for Fair? He only has 2 games of his now 11 played this season where he does not have a hit. One of those came against Falmouth the last time these two teams played on July 9th, but he quickly erases that 0-for versus the Doors, going 1-for-1 today. Like you said, extending the hitting streak to 5. It's a wonder why they ever cut him.
Yeah. Fair with just the second hit of the night for Hyannis. He's at first base with one out, and Jackson Olsen up at the plate. Olsen shows bunt, but it's foul back behind the plate to Troy Clonch, who fields it by the home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg. 0-1. Olsen playing third tonight with a .259 average. He's 0 for his last 7. Before that, he had a 6-game hitting streak, so another Harbor Hawk who has been slumping at the dish as of late. I'm on a long look in to Clonch. He delivers a fastball, loped foul, and out of play.
In the one game Olsen has played against the Commodores, he went 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. So he's someone that Falmouth has been able to hold in check. Otherwise, he's had a pretty solid year, respectable .260 average.
I'm on the right. He is in the stretch. He will pick off at first. Coots fields it, doesn't even apply a tag to Ian Fair, who dives in safely. Decent crowd on hand here at Hyannis. I think the delayed start maybe affected some fans. Game started at about 6:40, was originally scheduled for 6 o'clock. Aleman with a look back, and then he delivers the 0-2. Ground ball over towards Tawa. Underhands to Kevin Kendall. Plenty of time to throw onto first. It's a 4-6-3 double play. Tawa to Kendall to Coots. And despite allowing a single, Aleman faces the minimum in the bottom of the second. To the top of the third we go. Still 1-0 Falmouth on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day. Like the new short rib tacos or New England fried shrimp. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Throw down from Hunter Goodman to Jordan Westberg at short, and we are just about underway for the top of the third inning. Kevin Kendall, Tim Tawa, and Austin Maisel do up. That's 9, 1, and 2 in the Commodores batting order. Kendall, a guy who's also struggled at the plate recently with a 171 average, 1 double, 4 RBIs on the summer. Left-handed hitter from UCLA. Going up against an SEC opponent who fires a fastball way high for ball 1. Sun setting quickly here at McKeon Park. Lights are now just turning on.
Thank goodness.
Here's a hard hit ball from Kendall, but it's way foul. He hit that one probably 400 feet, but way to the right.
I want to see it. We saw power from him at Fenway Day. He was able to go opposite field over the monster, and he's 5'10", about 170 pounds. So that's impressive. He has no home runs on the summer, though.
Just 7 hits for Kendall. He takes a changeup down the middle for a second strike, 1 and 2.
Also only has 1 extra base hit. That came June 23rd against Yarmouth Dennis. Otherwise, no extra base hits besides that on the summer, so he's mostly been a singles guy.
Ash delivers a beautiful curveball that's foul tipped. Goodman applying the tag. He thought it was not hit at all by Kendall, who's now trying to play it off as he has a couple practice swings, and he'll stay in the box. He says that it was fouled. Chad Gassman looks incredulously from the Hyannis dugout. And now there's confusion. Kendall has no idea what the call is.
I totally thought Goodman squeezed it. I didn't even see him drop it.
We will now have Larry Rosenberg jog out to talk to the field umpire, Nick Zamilli. They'll have a conference, just the two umpires on the evening, after the umps were delayed in getting here. Rosenberg and Zamilli talking down the first base line.
This is just the freakiest way you could start a game as umpires. Oh, my God.
Strike three, they say he's out.
So Zamilli overrules, maybe not overrules Rosenberg, but he talks it over with Rosenberg and says, I saw it this way, I think that's the call. And again, the freaky umpiring continues.
The second baseman, Stanford, number 17, Tim Tawa.
Now Tim Tawa, the leadoff man, gets his second chance as a wacky third strikeout from Ash is the first out of the third inning. Ash has retired 5 Commodores in a row. Here's a curveball that's poked towards Brett Becker down the third baseline for a first strike. Tawa, 11 hits on the summer in 49 at-bats. His 50th at-bat was a pop fly to Servideo to start the game. Ash with that quick windup. Here's a hard hit ball out into left field, but it's right at Trevor Hauver. He fields at eye level, 2 down.
Ash is looking really good now that he's retired 6 straight after allowing the double and the single to Cruz that brought home the 1 run for Falmouth, the 1 run on the ball game so far. Since then, like I said, settled down a lot. 6 straight put down, 3 of those for Ks. He's looking really, really sharp.
Commodores went against an ace last night in Ian Seymour out at Yarmouth Dennis. Austin Maisel swings at the fastball and has it fouled into the parking lot. No balls and a strike. Ian Seymour leading the Cape League in leading the Cape League in strikeouts going into last night. He notched up another 7 and was perfect through 4 innings. The 0-1 is high eye level to Maisel, 1-1. And we've seen the Commodores go up against a few aces.
Yeah.
Mac Lardner for Bourne, Ian Seymour for Yarmouth Dennis.
I was going to say, so it seems so that so many of the pitchers they faced recently have been, at their best.
The 1-1 is a ball just above the letters. 2 balls and a strike to Maisel. He had hard contact in his first at-bat. It was a line out right to short. Jordan Westberg caught it for the second out of the game. The 2-1. Curveball, he checks up. Appeal down to first. He did not go down.
What's the first base umpire going to be able to tell you?
Lefty Maisel. Usually you appeal to a third base umpire in that situation on a check swing, but no third base umpire here tonight. Just 2. The 3-1 from Ash. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Full count.
He hasn't allowed a walk yet today, and it seems like every time he's close, we've seen a couple 3-ball counts. He's been able to get back. He's been able to throw strikes late in counts. So Ash not really letting himself walk, guys, despite not getting in front of everybody.
Nobody on, 2 outs. The 3-2. Fastball, strike 3 at the knees. Maisel can't believe it. It's another 1-2-3 inning worked by Ash. He has 2 strikeouts and now 4 on the evening. 7 Commodores have been retired in a row. Still 1-0 Falmouth, though, as we head to the bottom of the third.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
We have motored through the first 2 innings and the top half of the third. Just about 40 minutes gone in this game, 7:20 the time here in Hyannis as Aleman is out for his 3rd inning of work. He'll face Anthony Servideo. Fastball beautifully painted on the inside black and at the thighs of the 8-hitter for a strike. Servideo, 164 average on the summer. He takes another strike on the outside black. Quickly down 0-2. Servideo, a rising redshirt sophomore at Ole Miss, 287 average during his redshirt freshman year. Another fastball just misses. Aleman wanted it. 1-2.
Yeah, that looked really good. That looked right below the letters across his chest. I mean, textbook, that's a strike.
Servideo, a guy who draws a lot of walks. Strike 3, he got punched out there. 13 walks on the summer, but now 22 strikeouts as he goes down looking for the first out of the bottom of the 3rd.
All right, somebody's got to make the adjustment. Ton of low inside pitches that are getting called for strikes, and they look like strikes too. They look like they're getting the inside corner. They're definitely knee high. We saw Maisel take 2 in a row. Both of them called for strikes when he got punched out. Now Servideo, seen that pitch called a lot, and one of these teams is going to have to make the adjustment and start swinging away.
Double play ended the bottom of the 2nd inning. Aleman gets his first K of the evening against Servideo. Strike 1 to the 9-hitter, Rowdy Jordan. As that fastball looking sharp here in the 3rd. Jordan with a 128 average on the summer. He's playing center tonight. Nice curveball, but it misses. 1-1. Aleman, a guy who always pounds the strike zone. 27 pitches on the evening, 19 strikes and 8 balls. Aleman, another fastball. It's fended off and foul. 1-2. Jordan just 6 hits on the summer in 47 at-bats. He was 0 for 2 against Falmouth in their last matchup on July 9th.
Yeah, he's been brutal to start the summer, but he's getting there. He's starting to get a couple more hits in recent games. I mean, he started the summer 0 for 17, so there's nowhere but up.
The 1-2 over towards second base. Tim Tawa fields it, throws across his body and back towards first, and he gets the out. What a play from Tim Tawa as that ball nearly snuck into center field, but he makes an outstanding play for out number 2.
Brilliant stuff from Tawa, looking like Derek Jeter if Derek Jeter played second base. I mean, that backhand was smooth as ever. He had no time to stop on a dime and throw over to first, so he decided, let me give it a little jump throw with my body weight carrying me closer towards the shortstop position and my throwing arm throwing towards first. Still has enough strength in his frame to get it over towards Coots in time.
2 down now and the leadoff man up. Curveball strike 1 to Jordan Westberg, who got the first hit for Hyannis tonight, but then he was thrown out trying to steal second base. Westberg, the leadoff man, is now 0 for 3 on stolen base attempts this summer.
Sheesh.
The 0-1. Another curveball and another strike, 0-2.
Good sign for Jordan, though. He got that hit. He started the season 12 for 20, then was 1 for his last 18 entering this ball game.
Yeah.
Well, now he's 1 for his last 1, so he can erase all that from his memory because he had just, tale of 2 seasons right now.
He came onto the Cape and was mashing immediately. Here's a fastball that's poked foul into the trees here at McKeon Park, 0-2. In those first 5 games, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, and 8 RBIs. The last really successful game he had was against Falmouth.
Yeah.
2 for 4. And he had the lone RBI of that game.
Every single one of those games was multiple hits.
Yep. The 0-2 with 2 outs, spiked in the dirt. Aleman just squeezed that one a little too hard. 1-2.
Yeah, I don't know where he was trying to put that because pretty much from the get-go, it wasn't going according to plan.
Looked like an ugly pitch as Aleman puts his throwing hand in the dirt in front of the mound and wipes it off on his backside. Adjusts his hat, has his glove on his left hip. Exhales, looks into Clonch. Doesn't even look for a sign. He knows what he wants. It's a fastball and it's low.
Westberg's got a great eye. He's going to be a tough guy to put down on pitches like that one.
Only 7 strikeouts on the summer for the shortstop from Mississippi State. Aleman's 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Beautiful slider that broke outside and had Westberg absolutely fooled. 2 strikeouts for Aleman in the bottom of the third. And the Harbor Hawks go down in order. No runs on no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. 1-0 Falmouth entering the fourth. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball.
Welcome back to McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts. 1-0 in favor of the Falmouth Commodores. Danny LaRose, David Korzenowski here on the call in Hyannis. But let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast team, Katie Florio, to give us a little insight about the standings picture and what the coaches think about that all. Katie.
Thanks, Danny. And as you guys know, we as reporters and broadcasters love to talk a lot about those standings and statistics, but I spoke with assistant coach Brett Becker before the game, and he said that's never the main focus. Your preparation is what is emphasized the most. He said when you're focused on the wins, you lose sight of what makes you win in the first place. So it's vital to come with energy in your preparation every single day, and then the rest will end up taking care of itself.
Katie, thank you. I love that quote from Coach Becker saying that the moment you start to focus on the wins is when you start to lose focus of what makes you win in the first place, which is the way you play. That if you continue to play well day in and day out, I'm pretty sure the wins will come no matter what. Falmouth right now been winning a lot. They are currently third in the Western Division. Hyannis at fifth. They're in last place. But if you start to focus too much on those standings, if you're a player, things might go awry and you might end up losing to a last place team.
Yeah. Some nice coach speak from Brett Becker, right? I feel like we hear coaches say that a lot, but it's because it's true. Like, I've been around a handful of teams now, and really in the day-to-day, some guys might be focused on individual stats and things like that, but there are very few who are looking at the standings maybe as much as fans and us broadcasters do.
Zach DeLoach is a guy who definitely doesn't look at the stats. First pitch to DeLoach is taken for a strike. He's 1 for 1 with a double, and talking to him pregame, all that business about how he's hitting for over 400 and this record or that record, he said, do not tell me. Before we could even speak, he said, don't tell me any records. If you tell me a record, I'll start focusing on that.
Yeah.
As he watches a curveball break in the dirt for a ball. I'll start focusing on that. I won't be focusing on, actually playing well. And he said, I'll get in my own head.
I think one of my favorite moments of the season was when Falmouth's pitching really buckled down.
Here's the 1-1. That one just below the knees.
And the team ERA went from 8th to 3rd in the Cape League in the matter of 5 or 6 games. And we were hitting on it in our pregame show because we talked about how the pitchers, the bullpen, and the starters really settled down. Talked to Coach Landry before the game. He said he knew none of those stats.
Here's the 2-1 to DeLoach. Another breaking ball on the inside corner. He doesn't like the call, but it's been called all night by Larry Rosenberg. And this time is no different. That's hilarious.
Right.
I mean,
he was like, oh, I didn't know that.
He's just
didn't even bat an eye.
He's just focusing on the same thing every day, and he sees his pitchers doing better pitching, every single pitch, but he's not going to look at the overall. He kind of has that. Coaches have that gut feeling of what they know their pitchers are doing.
And then you add all of that to the fact that it is summer ball.
Right.
It's a lot less stress.
2-2, skips in the dirt again. Seems like every other pitch from Ash is ending up in the dirt, and that's why DeLoach now has a full count.
DeLoach with that double. First hit of the game for either side. Rowdy Jordan tried to get a little bit ambitious with the full extension dive in the left center field gap.
The payoff pitch, ball 4. DeLoach now 1 for 1 with a walk to start off the 4th inning. As his his on-base streak just continues to go on and on and on. Yesterday he didn't reach base, but that just means that for the next 6 games he's going to be getting on.
I was just going to say, so this is the beginning of another 7-game hit streak,
Yeah.
right? Because if you look at his last 16 games, it's 7-game hit streak, 0 for 4. 7-game hit streak, 0 for 4.
His batting average hasn't been below 400 since July 10th. He's at 391 that game. Now it's down.
Oh, the horror.
I know. Now it's at 395, but he's already 1 for 1, so he's in business. Foul ball off the bat of Trey Cruz. He's also 1 for 1. A single and an RBI scored the man on first back in the first inning.
Cruz has just been so consistent. Even in a night last night where the rest of the offense struggled, including Deloach, he didn't miss a beat. 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
Couple stolen bases as well for the man playing third base tonight. Pickoff move, nothing doing. You've seen Trey all over the infield. He's played the hot corner 3 times, so naturally he's been voted an all-star at third base. He said that when he saw Cantrell was playing short and Nick Gonzalez for Katuitt,
Right.
who's reached base in just about every game this summer, playing second, he thought, okay, that makes sense why they put me at third. Here's the pitch to Trey as he lifts it out into center field. Jordan is back there, and he will settle under it and make the catch in deep left center. Good contact by Cruz, but not enough as he's a flyout victim.
Looked good off the bat. Just think the fact that that was a high pitch. He had to raise the bat, and then the ball stayed on top of it. So sort of a high launch angle from Cruz trying to straighten that out coming up. But again, 2 at-bats, 2 pieces of really good contact from the cleanup man.
Troy Claunch will come up to the plate. He was the first strikeout victim against the pitcher Ash, who now has 4 Ks on the night. Claunch, a right-handed swinging bat from Oregon State. We'll have to wait for pitch 1 as there's a pickoff move. He's now 2 for his last 21 and 7 Ks over those 21 ABs.
Yeah, he's been struggling as of late. 3-run home run against Brewster to tie the game was probably his biggest hit of the year. But he only has 2 extra base hits with that home run and then a double.
Another pickoff move. They're really keeping a close eye on Deloach as he just gets underneath that tag. Great move from Ash, but I don't know. We've seen Deloach steal a couple of times. This doesn't seem like the best situation.
He is getting a little antsy at first. I wouldn't be surprised if he does try to swipe a bag here. The Commodores have had limited base runners tonight, and he is 5 for 6 on the summer in stolen bases.
He is not going. First pitch is a breaking ball outside from Ash, who is really methodical in his windup. He is taking his time. He's checking on the runners a lot. Very patient pitcher on the mound for Hyannis.
Yeah, he looks good. He's been one of the better pitchers for the Harbor Hawks this summer. He's just gotten slapped around his last couple times out.
Another pickoff move over to first. Low throw picked out of the dirt by Fair as he puts a tag that just misses Deloach.
Because his ERA was 2.46 after his outing against Falmouth in late June. But then against Orleans on July 2nd, 6 earned runs in 3 innings. Time after that, 5 earned runs in an inning and a third against Bourne. So 11 earned runs in his past 4 and a third.
That 1-0 pitch is bounced foul. That's a good point. Wow, his first 3 outings, he was stellar. Allowed 1 hit in each of them, no runs, and then his next 3 were just all over the place. 1-1 the count to Claunch. Ash from the stretch lifts and fires. That one skips in the dirt. Goodman blocks it. Deloach is going to try to take second, and he'll get there standing. Great block by Goodman, but the ball rolled up about 5 to 10 feet on the third base line, which was just far enough to Deloach to easily take second base.
Heads up play from Deloach. As soon as he saw that ball move a little bit past Goodman, he did not hesitate. Moves into scoring position with 1 out.
So now a single will probably score Zach, who was able to score from second back in the first. Only 1 out against Falmouth here in this 4th inning. 2-1 the count to Claunch. The pitch from Ash. Low fastball called strike. That one was well below the knees, but again, low zone for Larry Rosenberg.
Yeah, and Claunch, who has been struggling at the plate with those strikeout numbers, you just don't want to go down looking.
Yeah.
Went down looking his first AB. Swing the bat on anything close here. Just try to put it in play. That'll help you get out of the slump.
2-2. A low pitch, he does swing the bat, bounces off home plate. Goodman scoops it, throws over to first. So he takes maybe your advice, David, but it doesn't
but don't
pay
swing
off.
there.
Nah. Yeah, I'm not
It was
blaming
a
you.
really low pitch from Connor Ash. It skipped in the dirt. But I'm guessing that was probably Claunch's mentality at the plate.
Exactly.
It was like, I have to swing here on 2 strikes. I got to protect. Can't go down looking a second time. But then he swings at one that was way out of the zone. So right now, Claunch just struggling.
He's now 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Granted, that pitch from Ash was solid. It was a curveball that never really made it to the strike zone, but is juicy enough with 2 strikes where you can get some guys to go around. First pitch swinging is Jackson Coots as he nubs it off of his front foot. Dies slowly on the grass as it rolled to Ian Fair. That one made it all the way down to first base. Jackson's toes must be in pain right now.
Yeah. He's taking an extra stroll out of the batter's box to try to shake off that one.
He was a line-out victim his first time up. Made it all the way out into right field. Rigsby Mosley made a catch on a slide on a ball that looked like it was going to reach grass. He's 0 for 1, but great contact from the first baseman from the University of Rhode Island. He's originally from Orono, Maine. That's where the University of Maine is. His dad was a baseball player with the Black Bears. Made it all the way to Omaha, I believe, when he was playing back in the 80s. 0-1. Another low pitch that swung on and missed. Good block by Goodman to keep Deloach at second, and Coots is in an 0-2 hole.
Coots, a guy with just 3 RBIs on the summer. He doesn't have a run batted in since July 5th. That was game 2 of the doubleheader against Chatham. Then had 2 RBIs a few nights before that in the 12-7 beating of Brewster. He's got a runner in scoring position here. Something into the outfield would likely play another run.
0-2, late swing on a high fastball, but he makes contact to stay alive.
Thanks to DJ's famous ring,
9 of the last 10 Commodores have been put down. Only man among that group, Zach Deloach, stands on second. He reached on a walk, so there have been no hits for the Doors since 2 outs in the first inning. Jackson trying to change that narrative, but trying to avoid a strikeout also, which has become more and more frequent as the game has worn on. Ash's pitch. Grounded foul yet again.
Yeah, and looking through Jackson Coots' numbers, too, he's not a guy who strikes out a lot.
No.
Just 8 strikeouts on the summer. He struck out once in his first 4 games, and then was really great at the plate in his next 4. Didn't strike out once in his next 13 at-bats. And that's why he and Austin Maisel, 2 guys who are temporary players, have stuck around and made the full roster into mid-July.
Here's the 0-2 yet again. Another late hesitated swing, but it's on a good pitch, so Jackson is able to make contact and stay alive, doing exactly what you want to do at the plate when a pitcher is ahead of you 0-2. Just put together those maybe half-hearted swings that just can make contact and you stay alive.
Coots, like Maisel, great attitude. Really fun in the dugout.
Yeah, he is always a happy-go-lucky guy. I don't think I've ever seen him or heard him say anything bad.
He's just really relaxed.
Another 0-2. This one is swung on and missed. Beautiful breaking pitch at 85 miles an hour has Coots out ahead, and he strikes out for the first time in a long time. He drops to 0 for 2, and the Commodores score no runs on no hits, no errors, and they strand a runner on second base. Ash starting to get those strikeouts numbers up with back-to-back Ks in the 4th. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 your score.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day. Like the new short rib tacos or New England fried shrimp. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Bottom of the fourth we go here in Hyannis. Rigsby Mosley will lead off for the Harbor Hawks. They were put down in order back in the third. Mosley, Hauver, and Goodman, 2, 3, and 4, will be the batters against Franco Aleman, who's been holding on to a 1-0 lead since the first inning. Only has allowed 2 hits so far. First pitch fastball comes in for a strike to Mosley, who's 0 for 1.
That 0 ERA now through an even 19 innings. Again, he's given up a couple runs, but then the rain comes against Hyannis and against Bourne.
Fires the ball here. So if he does let up an earned run in this ball game, rest assured a giant storm cloud will come in.
Before the 5th inning.
Before the 5th inning and just storm all over us. That's going to happen.
Right. Even with those earned runs that he had in the rainouts, still an all-star, no question. He's been outstanding for the Commodores.
1-1 pitch to Mosley. High for a ball, 2-1. Yeah, he and Majinski have been that 1-2 punch that have been so effective.
Yeah.
Nick Nastrini has been really good too, but he came on to the team a little bit later, coming from UCLA, but he's been shut down as well. Ground ball right towards Tim Tawa at second base. This is a much easier play than his last attempt, as it's an easy 4-3 put out to start the fourth.
And in my opinion, Aleman's best outing was his one win against Bourne. Went 6 innings. I know he gave up the 6 hits, but remember back to that 3-0 win against the Braves, a lot of them were just squeaking out of the infield. Not a lot of hard hit balls from the Braves on June 29th. Had 4 strikeouts, and when he did let runners on base, he was immediately getting out of the inning.
Yeah, I remember there was one moment, maybe it was first and second one out, second and third, as first pitch comes in for a strike to Hauver. Definitely less than 2 outs, multiple guys on the base paths, and he just looked as shut down as ever. Got a couple strikeouts and was out of it just like that. No real threats against Franco in this ball game. That strike catches the inside corner again. Only time he's faced more than 1 runner on base was in the first, and he was able to get out of the inning with only 1 out to get. Got a double play to end the second and then was stellar in the third. Here's the 0-2. Chopper towards second base. This one again towards the middle of the diamond, and finally it squeaks into the outfield. We saw 1 infield hit towards the middle of the diamond, 1 fantastic play from Tim Tawa. That was an out, and this one breaks into center field for a single.
Seems like when Hayden Cantrell's not in the lineup at second base, you get a lot of those tough plays, because Trey Cruz had a couple of those last night against YD when he was at second base. And both Cruz and Tawa looking really solid on the right side of the diamond.
Hauver now with his first hit in the last couple of games. Hunter Goodman steps up to the dish. He grounded out to third his first time up. Goodman has been a bright spot in a Hyannis lineup that has been real cold lately. He's got a 4-game hit streak and hits in 6 of his last 7. Only time he went hitless in that span, it would be a 12-game hit streak or something along those lines. Except Falmouth came along, held him 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts back on July 9th. Takes a crack at this baseball and flies it out into right field. Deloach is back towards the track, gets under it, makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
That ball just kept carrying and carrying. No wind really here at Hyannis, which is uncommon. Usually McKeon Park gets quite breezy, but Deloach, plenty of time to track the ball, but he made the catch at the wall.
Yeah, McKeon Park is a pretty big ballpark, 394 to center field. Right center is even deeper, 405. It's a moderately sized park, but it feels like it's a bandbox because the wind is usually howling out towards the outfield. But that flagpole in right field, stagnant right now. Jared DeSantolo, a ground out victim to first, his first time up, now up at the plate with 2 outs and Hauver on. He watches another first pitch strike. Every pitch in this inning has been a strike to start off every batter.
Biggest ballpark that we still have yet to see out in Orleans. That park is massive. It's like 425 dead center. It's something. I swear it's 400 plus.
0-1 lined foul, 0-2. We saw someone on last year's team hit
Kyle
a home run
Stowers.
there. I think it was Stowers,
dead center.
Yeah. I was thinking it was either Sims or Stowers, and Stowers, now it's coming back to me, hit a home run there, and it was incredible. No balls, 2 strikes to DeSantolo, the designated hitter for Hyannis.
All-Star game will be at Eldridge Park on Sunday.
Is that the first time we'll be there? Or do we have a game before then at Orleans?
That's the first time we'll be there.
Sheesh. We're going to go through...
Because it's next week, we have back-to-back games in Orleans on the 25th and the 26th.
We just stay over there so we don't have to make the trip?
That's what I'm saying.
That is crazy. We're going through like pretty much 75% of the season without ever making it to Orleans,
Correct.
Thanks to the rain.
We still technically don't have a game on the record at Wareham.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. That'll get settled this week. 0-2 from Aleman. Up and in for a ball. Runner is going down towards second. Nobody noticed, but they do in the nick of time. Claunch fires to Kendall, who gets there on the run and applies the tag to Hauver. Maybe a delayed steal, and it does not work out for the Harbor Hawks. They're now 0 for 2 trying to steal second base, and Claunch 2 for 2 nabbing those guys. Aleman gets out of the inning thanks to some of his fielders as he allows no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. To the top of the 5th we go. 1-0 on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Top of the 5th, getting ready to get underway here at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Danny LaRose, David Korzanowski here with you on the call. Commodores leading the Harbor Hawks 1-0. So far, it has been a pretty low-scoring game, kind of a pitcher's duel. This game has been flying by. This is now 3 straight games where, at least in the first half of the ball game, it's been pitcher's duels.
You know what I have to do, right?
Yep.
You've done it to me, so I'm just returning the favor.
No, you got to, because, I mean, we have to hearken back to it.
Right.
And how it's just nothing is going as according to plan.
Right. We are on a cold streak with predictions.
Yeah.
Beginning of the game, and I agreed with you. This is by no means me calling you out. We thought that the stop and start action for these pitchers would lead to a lot of hits.
1-0 swung on by Radcliffe. He's way out ahead of an off-speed pitch.
But right now, pitchers are winning the battles. Just 1 run and 5 hits total.
It's been a Commodores team that has been a little quiet at the plate. 3 runs a couple nights ago in 10 innings of work. No runs yesterday. Was expecting a bounce-back game like we saw the last time this team came to McKeon Park, as there's a strike on the inside part of the plate, 1-2. It was 8-1 in that ball game after a 14-0 loss to Bourne the previous night. So we thought, hey, it's going to be the exact same way. And then the umpires were late in coming here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As right on cue, the pitchers continue to excel. That's now 3 straight swinging strikeouts. This one to Radcliffe, all of them off-speed pitches. And he's finally put down on a big curve.
Yeah, the first Commodore to strike out twice. And that's just tough. You want to see consistency from Baron Radcliffe because you know what he's capable of. Now you've seen it not just in batting practice. You've seen it at the plate. You saw it against Chatham. But he seems to be back and slumping, unfortunately.
Austin Langworthy takes a batting practice hack as he comes up empty on a high fastball. He grounded out to first back in the 2nd inning. 6 through 9 in the order now. A combined 0 for 6. That ball skips in the dirt. 1-1 to Lang.
Langworthy, a guy who looked like he was going to break through in a game against Orleans. Commodores were down 3-0. He was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He comes up in his 4th at bat and slaps a double to deep right field. It was the hardest hit ball we've seen from Langworthy this summer. But since then, he has again been cold at the plate as well.
Yeah, only 8 hits for him, only 2 RBIs. Pounds this one towards the Falmouth dugout, but is too far out ahead of it. It's a foul. Only 2 Commodores have reached base in this ball game. They are Zach DeLoach and Trey Cruz. They each have a hit, and DeLoach has gotten on with a walk. Otherwise, 1 and 2, and then 5 through 9 have been silent. Here's the pitch, up and away.
This game feels a lot different than the last bounce back against Hyannis. Commodores are leading 1-0, and a win's a win, but against the Harbor Hawks, their last time out, they exploded in the 3rd through 5th, went up 5-0. Zach DeLoach with a couple bombs.
Langworthy nubs that one into center field, and that's going to get in for a base hit. Servideo was jogging over, maybe could have dove for it, but he decided better of it as Langworthy has a softly hit single here in the 5th.
There we go. A hit's a hit. Austin Langworthy approaching double-digit hits on the summer. And think about it, too. He's not an everyday starter now. Last summer in 2018, he was entering his junior year with the Gators, and he was in the lineup pretty much every night. He had 7 home runs despite coming to the Cape late. Now he's splitting time out in left field with guys like Austin Maisel, Tim Tawa playing out in left sometimes. So he's got to make the most of his opportunities when he gets them.
First pitch to Kevin Kendall is around his ankles and called a ball. He also struck out swinging. That was to lead off the 3rd inning. As Kevin still looking at 7 hits on the summer. We talk about Langworthy entering his previous at-bat with only 8. Well, Kendall's been struggling too. His batting average now below 170 as he floats this one into left field. It's pretty deep, but Hauver is there, and he makes the grab. Great contact from Kendall, but he's an out nonetheless.
And Kendall's just been getting some tough breaks. There are other guys who aren't making contact as much, and they're striking out a lot more. Kendall did strike out his first time up, but he had a absolute rope out into right field on a foul ball. Then he gets good contact into the opposite field in his second at-bat, just in the wrong spot.
And last night against YD, he sported an offer, but one of those outs was a rocket into right field that was caught in very deep right. So like you said, he's been making good contact, but getting a little bit too underneath the baseball. Pickoff move to first base. Langworthy dives back in time. Here's Tim Tawa, the leadoff man. So far 0 for 2 with a pop-out and a fly-out. He's a guy who gets underneath the ball a lot. Righty-righty matchup. Ash from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Tawa shows bunt, and he tries to lay one down, but it glances right off the middle part of his barrel and up into the screen behind home plate. Interesting move to try to squeak out a single on a bunt with 2 outs, but where Olsen was playing at third base all the way back, you might as well.
Yeah, now he creeps in and is playing on the infield grass. So would be shocked if Tawa shows bunt again.
That's something I asked Matt Nelson about because he always shows bunt and actually tries to put it down. Apparently he does it a lot at school too. 0-1 to Tawa, fouled back. And he says, well, if the third baseman's going to be playing all the way out there, I might as well.
Right.
And Tawa was sitting next to him at the time, and he shouted out the same exact thing. He goes, tell them to play closer. So those two guys kind of in the same wavelength where they're like, I don't care what part of the game we're in. I don't care if there's 2 outs. If he's playing all the way back at third, I'm going to try to poke one down in front of him. Right now 0-2, so no bunt coming. Langworthy's running. The pitch from Ash, down and away. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Looked like the ball beat him, actually, but Langworthy able to get the foot on the base before the tag was applied to his chest.
Ash, Servideo, and Westberg can't believe that call.
I think it was the right call.
It's tough for me to tell from so far away, but I don't know. The ball was there in plenty of time. It seemed like they still tagged the chest before the foot got into me, but
I think the reason that he was safe was because they were a little late applying the tag because they went high with it rather than going towards his legs. Here's a similar pitch, another slider that dives down and away. So Langworthy, not with the best jump, a great throw from Goodman. A little bit of a missed tag from Servideo, according to first base umpire Nick Sabelli. Count now 2-2 to Tawa. Here's the pitch. Chopped off his front foot.
Tawa, another guy who they want to heat up. He had a really solid stretch. But now just 4 for his last 12, 0 for 3 last night. His average this season has peaked at 250. That was after his first start in which he went 1 for 4. His highest since then was 239. Now he's down to 224. Wants to get that closer to 250 and above.
Line drive into right field. That one going towards the Falmouth bullpen and out of play. 3 straight foul balls, or pardon me, back-to-back foul balls after back-to-back balls out of the zone. So Tawa putting up a great at-bat right now after Ash looked like he was going to get through him pretty easily.
Yeah, Tawa's working his longest at-bat of the night. Went down on 4 pitches in the first and just a couple pitches in the third.
Langworthy on second, no one holding him on. Ash looks him back. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Went with a changeup down in the zone, and Tawa obliged. 2 strikeouts here in the 5th inning. Keeps up the trend as Connor Ash gets out of the inning, allowing no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and stranding a runner on the base paths. To the bottom of the 5th we go. 1-0 on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day. Like the new short rib tacos or New England fried shrimp. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. Have I fully kicked the bug on that?
Yeah, because you've done it like every game for the past week and a half.
Come on, give me
gotten
some
a lot
credit,
of practice.
please.
No, you are looking good on that.
Thank you.
Well done, David.
Thanks for helping me get confidence reading 2 sentences.
Bottom 5 kicked off by a foul ball off the bat of Jared DeSantolo. DeSantolo?
I've always said DeSantolo.
I've gone back and forth. I'm going to go with DeSantolo.
All right.
0-1 to number 1, the DH.
Just call him number 1.
Left-handed swinging bat with that bat over his back left shoulder as he calls for time, and Franco I don't even think was decided on a pitch yet.
This is a past high school matchup, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Aleman said that he has played against DeSantolo in high school.
Ground ball towards third. Cruises there, fields it close to the infield grass, now throws it on the infield grass and gets the out at first base. So, high school matchup for Aleman and DeSantolo is 0 for 2.
Aleman, the second starter in a row for Falmouth, who has kept the pitch count tremendously low. Just 48 pitches through 4 1/3. He, like Gonzalez last night, pitching a lot to contact. He's getting a lot of ground outs, a couple flyouts as well. Double play in the second inning was big.
Fly ball off the bat of Ian Fair into right field. That one's going to land for a hit and roll to the corner. Zach DeLoach digs it out up against the fence, and into second base with a stand-up double is Ian Fair. He's 2 for 2, and the guy who was cut, re-signed, back in action against the Doors, and he's doing well.
I love the story from Fair. Leads the team in batting average at .444, granted in 27 at-bats, but that's going to go up today after a couple more hits. He's now 14 for 29, just a shade below 500 on the summer, and a 5-game hit streak. That's now his 3rd straight game with a double as well, Danny.
So right as you were saying it, Chris Gonzalez yesterday was pitching to contact a lot. And like Aleman, Chris was also getting a lot of ground ball outs, a lot of them coming really quick. Seemed like Gonzalez was working really quick innings, a lot less than 10 pitches thrown thanks to quick outs. And then he ran into the middle of the ball game and got tagged for a couple of runs in 1 inning, and things fell apart for the Doors. First pitch swinging is Jackson Olsen on a beautiful changeup from Aleman. So Franco trying to do what Chris did in the first part of the game, but maybe change the ending.
Yeah, Gonzalez with his best outing of the summer, but he gave out that 2-out double in the 5th inning against YD. Gave him a lead that they would not surrender.
Foul ball rolls to the backstop, 0-2. Yeah, Chris, like you said, great outing, and he did everything exceptionally well. Just let up those 2 runs in the 1 inning. Still gets a loss because Ian Seymour was just a little bit better. No balls, 2 strikes to the left-handed swinging Olsen, who grounded into an inning-ending double play back in the 2nd. Jackson from Hartford came into today batting .260. Aleman looks back fair at second. Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball high.
One thing I want to hit on with Olsen at the plate, 3 temporary players in the starting lineup for Hyannis tonight. Rigsby Mosley, Ian Fair, and Jackson Olsen. All of them originally signed to just be on Hyannis for the first couple weeks of the season. They have stuck it out to mid-July.
Part of the issue there, their guys getting nabbed by Team USA. Ground ball off the foot of Olsen. Seen that a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Painful night for hitters.
In more than one way, right? Only 7 hits on the evening and 1 run for these 2 teams.
Harbor Hawks with 4 of those hits, Falmouth with 3, but Falmouth with the 1-0 lead. As I was saying, though, 3 Harbor Hawk hitters were picked up by Team USA. Nick Lofton, Lucas Dunn, Tanner Allen. That's a Baylor Bear, a Louisville Cardinal, and a Mississippi State Bulldog. Part of the reason why those 3 guys you listed are still here.
True.
Aleman from the stretch, hunched over, fires home. Another foul ball.
Olsen, despite a solid .260 average on the summer, he did have probably toughest out of the game tonight. It was a runner on first base and just 1 out, grounded into an inning-ending double play in the 2nd.
He had a 6-game hitting streak snapped a couple days ago, now 0 for in the game since, as he's out ahead of an off-speed pitch, but taps it foul.
He's putting up a good at-bat, and this is something Franco does so well. This is now pitch number 6 in the AB. He's only fired 1 ball. Even when hitters are pesky and they stay alive with foul balls, he continues to pound the strike zone. Does not issue a lot of walks at all. Just has 1 tonight.
Another 1-2 offering. This time it's a swing and a miss. Went back with the off speed at 81 miles an hour, and Olsen goes down way out ahead of that pitch. 2 outs.
Beautiful pitch. No chance for Olsen. He was thinking fastball, swung early. It ducked below his bat. No chance to even foul it off. Aleman hasn't needed as many strikeouts tonight. He had 6 his last time out against Brewster, now with 4 on the evening. 3, excuse me.
Here is another representative from the Magnolia State, Anthony Servideo, left-handed second baseman from Ole Miss. Checking on Fair at second is Aleman.
Is that Mississippi, Magnolia State?
It's Mississippi. There are 3 Bulldogs and 1 Rebel on this squad. One of the Bulldogs picked up by USA, as we said. First pitch to the Rebel, that is Servideo, is taken up and away. He's 0 for 1 with a looking strikeout.
Magnolia State. I would not have guessed that.
I had to look it up just before I said it.
Okay.
So you're not alone.
Well, you had a snipe out of nowhere the other day when you pegged South Carolina as, wait, don't tell me. I just had it. Palmetto State.
Yeah. I don't know. Good with that stuff. Fastball for a strike, 1-1 to Servideo.
Yeah, I used to be big on like state bird.
That I would never be able to
state
get.
bird, flower, and like motto or whatever. But geography was I don't know, an elementary school thing, I guess, middle school thing.
So you're saying that my knowledge is not
No,
worthwhile?
no. Come on, come on.
1-1 to Servideo. He's only batting 165 on the summer. Now 1-2. Anthony has really been struggling this entire Cape Cod campaign. No home runs, 2 RBIs for a guy who hit 286 this past year with Ole Miss. Just something not clicking for him. Here's the pitch. Down in the zone. Good block by Claunch.
Claunch has looked very sound defensively. He's wearing the Commodores gear with that maroon chest protector and shin pads after his chest protector from Oregon State snapped a couple weeks ago.
I liked his look, though, with the orange on the black, on these road blacks. It looks really cool. But now he's got the maroon on black. Still great. Franco comes set. 2-2 the count to Servideo with a runner on second and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Up and in, close call. Servideo leaning far enough out of the way to draw a ball as the Falmouth dugout wanted it. They know that inside has usually been called for a strike, but not this time.
Yeah, he sold that one, did Servideo, and it was a good job by the 8-hitter. He had a couple of those inside strikes called against him earlier in the count, so when it came back in that direction, he knew that he kind of needed to exaggerate maybe a little bit more.
Count now full. Aleman has only allowed 1 walk on the ball game. It came in the first. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 92-mile-an-hour heat. Foul tipped into the glove of Claunch, and that will do it on the 5th inning. The Harbor Hawks score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they strand a runner on second base as we're now through 5. Still 1-0 Commodores.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Urgent Care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Redshirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Right.
Top 6 ready to get underway at McKeon Park. Danny LaRose, David Korzanowski with you for the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network. 1-0 in favor of these Commodores. This has been a pretty, I don't want to say dull.
I
It's
will
been
say
a
dull.
slow game.
I'll say dull. I looked at last night as a game, even though it was low scoring for the first 5 innings, it just, I don't know. It felt more entertaining. There were a lot of quick outs, a lot of plays in the field, not a lot of long, drawn-out counts.
Ball 1 low to Maisel. I see what you're saying because there haven't that was a game that like it was a pitcher's duel to the max where it was 1-2-3 inning after 1-2-3 inning after 1-2-3 inning. This ball game, I mean, guys have been getting on base, just nobody's really been crossing home plate. Maisel wastes away that breaking ball, 1-1.
Because last night, everyone who was at Red Wilson Field, and it was also a packed field as well, everyone was in awe at Gonzalez and Seymour. And it seemed like for the first 4 innings of that game, it was like pitcher's duel to the max, as you said. Those two guys were just going at it, getting onto the mound and out of the inning just like that.
Great breaking ball has Maisel fooled.
But tonight, and no disrespect to Aleman and Ash because they've both been great, just longer counts, a little bit slower. I feel like there isn't that same intensity as there was last night.
Falmouth already with more hits than they had last night. 2 last night, 3 tonight.
Chopper over towards third base. This could be trouble. Fielded on a run, thrown on a run, and the play is executed to perfection by Jackson Olsen. A 5-3 putout to start off the 6th inning. Maisel speed, not enough.
Olsen, again, one of those temporary players from Hartford, but he looked everything like a power 5 third baseman there. Fielded it on a run. Beautiful throw on the run, and a perfect strike to fair.
Looking like Steven Moretto at third base. Seen that play from Moretto a lot, and Jackson Olsen able to execute it. As Zach DeLoach now will step up to the dish. He's reached base both his times to the plate. A double in the 1st inning, a walk in the 4th inning. First pitch to DeLoach is taken on the inside corner. Strike 1. Connor Ash, you mentioned, had 80 pitches after 5 innings of work. Still on the mound for Hyannis. 0-1. Breaking ball nubbed up towards the mound. That's going to be an easy play for Ash as DeLoach is retired for the first time tonight.
Well, this is exactly what Ash wants and needs when he's in his 6th inning and he's over 80 pitches. He gets a couple quick outs, fires strikes, forces the Commodores to swing the bat, and he keeps it on the infield. Can't get much better than that as he is now at 86 pitches, 58 balls. That's not right. 58 strikes.
Yes.
28 balls.
So the walk issues that he used to have against the Commodores not rearing its ugly head in this ball game. Has only walked 1 batter. Not thrown a lot of balls either. First pitch is a ball to Trey Cruz. It's been Trey Cruz 1, everybody else 0. He has the lone RBI on the ball game. 1-0. Below the knees. Trey, a Rice Owl, was born in Canada, lived his first 5 years of his life in Toronto when his dad played for the Blue Jays. Then moved down to Florida, lived right across the street from the U in Miami. Here's a ground ball into right field for a base hit, and the guy who now lives in Houston and plays for Rice is on first base for the 2nd time.
Trey Cruz moving all around the country, moving all around the base paths. And, yeah, countries, plural. But he's been great. I mean, this is now another 2-hit game from Cruz, and he has 5 2-hit games in his last 6 starts.
Unreal.
Yeah, that's
Just
awesome.
Ridiculous pace. Has a 6-game hitting streak, and now he gets the honor of knocking Connor Ash out of the ball game. Ash went 5 2/3 innings of work, and he was phenomenal, but he can't get out of the 6th inning without some help. He'll trot back towards the third base dugout, and the Commodores, leading 1-0, have now broken in to the Hyannis bullpen. We'll be right back with the pitching change and the rest of this 6th right after this.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Welcome back to McKeon Park with 2 outs and a runner on first in the 6th inning. Hyannis is going to opt for one of their arms from the bullpen. It's going to be Tyler Drabick from Kent State University, whose last time out was against these Commodores on July 9th.
Yeah, he pitched an inning in 2/3, gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits. He had 1 walk and no strikeouts. He had trouble getting out of that game. He also hit a couple batters, 7.94 ERA on the summer and an 0-1 record. Every game he has pitched in, the Harbor Hawks have lost.
Perhaps a good sign for the Commodores.
Indeed. More on Drabick. He's a rising redshirt junior with Kent State, 3.73 ERA during his sophomore year, originally from North Canton, Ohio.
Pickoff move over to first, no tag. We'll see how far Gassman tries to send Drabick, but so far on the summer, every single appearance he's allowed a hit, and every single appearance he's allowed an earned run.
Yeah, and he's a guy who's only got a max of 2 innings. So you'll definitely be seeing a third, maybe a fourth reliever, depending on how Falmouth does at the plate.
First pitch is off speed to Troy Claunch, and he takes it for ball number 1 outside. Claunch 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, so he is definitely happiest to see Connor Ash taken out of the ball game. Grounds one over towards third base. Jackson Olsen will go the easy way to second, and it's a 5-4 fielder's choice to end the 6th inning. The Commodores score no runs on 1 hit, no errors committed by Hyannis, and 1 runner left on base. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, still 1-0 in this pitcher's duel.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself.
1-0 Commodores. Franco Aleman on the mound. Bug spray applied.
Bug spray has been applied.
Bottom of the 6th, ready to get underway here at McKeon Park in Hyannis. It has been a quickly moving, but a little bit of an off game for both offenses, as we've only seen 1 run collectively, 4 hits for either side.
Yeah, again, I go back to the point I made earlier. 14-0 loss against Bourne. They come back the next night, and the offense explodes. They get double-digit hits, 8 runs against Hyannis. It felt like that was such a great bounce back after their toughest loss of the year.
Aleman's first pitch is popped up into shallow right field. Deloach is sprinting in. He will be called off by Tawa, who gets there and makes the catch over his shoulder. Nice catch from a guy who plays a lot of outfield himself.
Yeah, that's a good point. He had a great read on the ball. Long distance to travel, but he's been really solid defensively tonight.
Yeah.
But I do want to go back to that point because then the bats were just clicking. They did lay an egg the next night against Katuitt with just 1 hit, but then the night after, 15 runs against Chatham. This feels a lot different. This feels like the bats are still a little bit asleep. The only guys who are really hitting right now are Cruz and Deloach. So, I don't know. The offense kind of comes and goes.
Franco Aleman not affected by it, as he has been stellar. As here's a bunt right back towards the mound. Aleman gets off, throw on to first in time. Jordan Westberg trying to get a cheeky bunt hit, but he is thrown out by the pitcher himself, and there are 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
If Aleman keeps this up, he could be up for a 7th inning. His pitch count is still extremely low, just at 64 pitches.
He's only thrown 2 pitches in this inning.
Yeah, that'll help. We saw a handful of those innings from Gonzalez yesterday.
Yeah, there were a couple where he threw 7, maybe 8 pitches. We haven't seen a 3-pitch inning. I've only seen it once in my lifetime. And if Rigsby Mosley swings here, that'd be interesting. He does not, and he takes a strike at the knees, 0-1.
One of my crowning achievements in high school baseball was a 3-pitch inning.
Were you the pitcher?
I was.
Wow, that's really cool. Line drive into right field, and this is going to be a 4-pitch inning for Franco Aleman. Deloach catches it easily. Aleman with a big fist bump as he caps off the bottom of the 6th. Only 4 pitches and 3 easy outs. We'll head to the 7th inning. It's still 1-0 on the Commodores Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Back here for the top of the 7th inning. As Danny, we look ahead to this upcoming week, which I have dubbed Wareham Week.
Yes.
Home and home in the next couple
Wareham
days.
Week.
Game against Katuitt on Thursday, followed by a doubleheader out at Spillane Field on Friday. And then this weekend, obviously, the All-Star game.
Yeah, this weekend will be a little bit of a break All-Star game. Not for us, though, because, of course, there has to be a rain rescheduled date right after the All-Star game.
True.
The only time that the Commodores will not be playing a game is on that Sunday. A couple guys will be. But, yeah, the real action starts up halfway through this week towards the later end of the week when Wareham and Katuitt come and play Falmouth, because that's really where some separation might be found in the West or where Falmouth might be able to gain some ground in the West.
First pitch from Jackson Coots is skied out into left field. Hovers at the wall. He makes the catch. First pitch swinging was Jackson Coots. He blasted it into left, but no help from the wind. It stays in the ballpark.
So both teams starting to say, hey, let's just try to get hits on the first pitch. That usually the best pitch you see in your at-bat is the first pitch of the at-bat. And we saw it from all 3 hitters in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now Coots following up with it, but nobody catching a break.
Baron Radcliffe, a strikeout victim twice tonight, takes a big hack on the first pitch from Drabick, and he comes up empty. It was a changeup at 81 miles an hour.
It's like every swing he takes, he's looking to launch it 500 feet.
I do like him swinging earlier in counts, though.
Yeah.
That was my biggest gripe with him earlier in the season, was he was watching the first 2 strikes. The 0-1. He watches outside part of the plate for a strike.
Still getting himself in an 0-2 hole. Seems like everybody throws strikes against Radcliffe, which unfortunately for him leads to a lot of strikeouts.
Drabick's been working quickly. Here's a ground ball that's fouled back towards us into this brick backstop. We haven't seen the brick backstop come into play too much tonight, but we know that it can bounce right back to the catcher, and sometimes pass balls aren't all that detrimental.
Yeah.
But so far, not a lot of base runners, not a lot of movement on the base paths. Just a 1-0 ball game. High and away fastball. Radcliffe lays off 1-2.
Yeah, to my count, there's only one wild pitch. It let Zach Deloach reach second base. Otherwise, no errors for either side. Pitching has been great. It's been a very sound baseball game, even though the bats have been quiet.
The 1-2 spiked a little bit low. Radcliffe works the count even.
And not a lot of walks either. Nobody hit by pitches. I mean, it has been one of the most fundamentally sound games. Coaches would be very happy. Maybe not hitting coaches, but coaches in general would be satisfied watching this.
The 2-2. Blasted into right center field. With a read on it is Rowdy Jordan, and this ball's going to sneak out. Baron Radcliffe with a solo blast to put the game at 2-0.
love to see that from Barron. When he gets down 2 strikes, so often we see him get K'd up. Usually we see him striking out swinging as he sees an 0-2 count, starts to get a little bit antsy, starts to try to make something happen with some pitches that he shouldn't be going after. And this time, he's very patient 0-2. He's able to work it 2-2 like we've seen a couple times before in this ball game. And finally, he gets a good pitch to hit. A huge mistake from Drabick, leaving that one right down the middle. And Radcliffe, with so much power, makes no mistake.
Austin Langworthy watches a ball at the shins. 1-0. He singled his last time up. That was Radcliffe's 3rd home run of the year. RBI count up to 13.
Second on the team.
True.
Second on the team, has RBIs only in like 3 of the last 4 games.
Right. Ball number 2 misses outside to Langworthy. He's 1 for 2 on the evening, grounded out his first time up. He watches a 3rd ball. And this is something I see often from Cape League pitchers. They get hit hard, and then they miss the strike zone.
Yep. It's tough to settle back in when you just let up a home run. You don't want to throw another pitch in that same location.
4-pitch walk to Austin Langworthy, who's aboard for the 2nd time tonight. A runner on first and 1 out.
So how about that for the bottom of the order? Specifically Radcliffe and Langworthy. They were looking really sore to start the ball game. Then Langworthy gets a single in the 5th inning. Now Radcliffe with a home run in the 7th. Langworthy gets on as well. Jackson Coots has been held 0 for 3, but he's had some really hard hit balls. And Kevin Kendall in the 9-hole just looking for anything to get himself going. But with those guys ahead of him starting to get some success, maybe he gets some protection and is able to work himself onto base somehow.
Chad Gassman will stroll out from the dugout and onto the mound for a chat with Drabick, and the chat was maybe 2 words. He immediately took the ball from the right-hander from Kent State and signals to the bullpen for a reliever. We will come back after this pitching change. Falmouth adds 1, and they're still trying to do more in the top of the 7th. It's 2-0 Doors as we step aside on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Cape Cod Coca Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30 plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
The Hyannis Harborhawks make their 2nd call to the bullpen. Here is another pitcher the Commodores have seen before, but they saw him as a starter, Danny.
Yeah, he started July 9th, the last time these 2 teams played. That was the last time that Murphy pitched. He got tabbed with the loss through 4 1/3 innings of work. He allowed 4 earned runs, 5 runs total, 7 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. He was absolutely bombed in that baseball game. Brought his ERA down, actually, to 10.29. That's how the type of season that he's had. He's allowed earned runs, or actually multiple earned runs, I should say, in every single appearance except 1. So out of 6 total appearances, 1 against Chatham, he threw scoreless, and otherwise he's allowed at least 2 in every other outing. Again, like I said, 4 earned runs against Falmouth his last time. So Hyannis going to a starter who's moved around a little bit. He has had 2 starts, 4 relief appearances. This will be his 5th, and the Commodores hoping that they can kind of put this game on ice with a couple more runs here the way Aleman has been pitching.
Kyle Murphy, the right-hander from Northeastern, comes in the stretch, immediately checks on Austin Langworthy at first base. As my partner mentioned, that 10.28 ERA. Just one of a handful of Hyannis pitchers who have struggled this summer, as their pitching staff has been one of a few weaknesses on this team. Curveball drops in for a strike to Kevin Kendall. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Beautiful sky right now here in Hyannis. Over the right field scoreboard, it's dark blue, turning black, and streaks of light blue and pink out above left field. Way to our left, where the sun is setting, cotton candy sky, as they call it.
That's nice. Best sunset I've seen this summer.
Pink and blue out to the left of us. Austin Langworthy fakes the steal. He holds up, swinging and missing is Kevin Kendall, 0-2. See some beautiful sunsets here on the Cape, especially as the months turn from July to August. We saw a beautiful sun last night on our drive home from Yarmouth Dennis. It was like a pinkish orange above Route 6. Pickoff move over to first. It's dropped by Ian Fair as Langworthy didn't even slide. He was nearly out.
Yeah, he was nearly out, and he almost fell off the base because he didn't slide, came so hard back into the corner of first base, and almost tripped over it.
0-2 the count. Murphy on the bump for Hyannis. Kevin Kendall swings and misses, strike 3. Another changeup from Murphy, and Kevin Kendall strikes out swinging for the second time tonight, 2 down.
Yeah, he continues to struggle. It's been a really tough, about a week or so for Kendall has been really rough as, like you said, 2 swinging strikeouts, 0 for 3. None of these at-bats really all that impressive. He did have a couple of loud fly balls that went foul. He had a loud out yesterday. Seems like he's a little on and off in each at-bat. Sometimes he looks really sharp, sometimes he doesn't. But the result has been the same no matter what.
Tim Tawa, also a tough night. He's 0 for 3. Pop-out, fly-out, and a strikeout. Langworthy fakes the steal again. Here's a curveball at 75 miles an hour for a strike. Tawa worked a good at-bat his last time up in the 5th. It was a 2-2 count, fouled off a handful of pitches, but went down swinging to end the 5th inning. Commodores with 5 hits. One of them was a solo shot from Baron Radcliffe in this half inning to make it 2-0. Another swing and miss from Tawa. It's 0-2.
Tim just trying to do too much with that pitch. It was a down and away fastball. Been called a strike from Rosenberg, so I like Tawa swinging at it. But when it's down and away like that, you don't want to be trying to pull it and swing it out of your shoes.
Murphy hasn't fired a ball yet. He checks on Langworthy again, who slides in head first safely. Murphy, despite giving up those 4 earned runs to Falmouth his last time out, he was pretty good through those first 3 innings.
Yeah.
Held Falmouth off the board. Curveball. Half swing from Tawa. He went around. Tawa with a long pause in the batter's box. He's still there, gripping his bat, and now a long stroll back to the dugout. 2 strikeouts from Kyle Murphy as he comes out in relief. Commodores score 1 on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave a runner stranded. To the bottom of the 7th we go, 2-0 Falmouth on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com.
Back for the bottom of the 7th inning. This is the longest Franco Aleman has gone into a game. He is at just 66 pitches, and our own Katie Florio is standing by with some more info on Franco. Katie.
Thanks, David. And I just got a chance to catch up with someone who really means a lot to this program, and that is Chris Fitzgerald, the Falmouth general manager. And as we know, Franco has had an outstanding summer here and was just selected to the All-Star team. Chris says he's been extremely impressed with him all summer and credits his success to his laid-back personality. Chris said he has a strong presence on the mound and really has a way of taking control of the game. Always feeling relaxed has really helped him go far this summer, and yet again, another dominant outing for him tonight.
Thanks, Katie. Again, that 0 ERA staying put through 25 innings now on the summer. He's trying to blank the Harbor Hawks in yet another frame here in the 7th. Trevor Hoover, Hunter Goodman, and Jared DeSantolo will try to break up that party. Hitters 3, 4, and 5, who are a combined 1 for 5 today. Aleman's longest outing of the summer was the 6-inning win against Bourne on June 29th. He's gone an even 6, trying to make it 7. First pitch swinging is Hoover. It's back into the parking lot behind us, 0-1.
Well, that's going to help. The fact that Hyannis keeps swinging at the first pitch is helping out the fact that Franco is trying to go longer than he has all summer. They haven't been able to find too many hits, and they've been getting a lot of early outs, which is keeping that pitch count low.
The 0-1 from the righty, spiked in the dirt, 80 miles an hour. 1-1. Haber has reached base both times. He's one of 2 Hyannis batters to not be retired tonight. Walked in the first, singled in the fourth. He watches a ball low and away, 2-1. He actually was caught stealing in that fourth inning. So Aleman faced the minimum in the bottom of the fourth.
He's faced the minimum now in 4 separate innings, although only 2 of them were 1-2-3.
Foul ball down the first base line to make it 2-2. I call those quasi 1-2-3.
That's what we were
Didn't
calling
we
them
recall
last
them last year?
year?
Yeah, we haven't really done that this year.
No.
There was the double play in the second, and then the caught stealing in the fourth. So he faced just 3 batters. Aleman with a long look into Clonch. Looked like he couldn't see the sign at first. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. Aleman has been at his best later in this game. That's now 6 in a row he's retired for Hyannis.
And that's one of those where Haber walking back to the dugout is thinking, where did I miss? That was an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. It was about belt high, outside part of the zone, so not necessarily anybody's wheelhouse too often, but that's one of those where he might be thinking, I should have had that. He was right onto it. It's not like he wasn't expecting fastball at all. Still comes up empty.
Foul ball into the Hyannis dugout. They go leaping over the high fence and try to grab it. Chad Gassman, the third base coach and manager, will stroll on over and flip it to one of the bat boys. 0-1 the count to Hunter Goodman. 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a fly out. Aleman delivers off speed high. Goodman with a 4-game hit streak in danger of having it snapped tonight against the Commodores. Don't know how many more times the Harbor Hawks, I should say, will get up. Fastball again fouled. 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's now 6 in a row retired by Aleman. It's really only Ian Fair who's the guy who has done too much against Franco. Otherwise, everybody's been down for the count.
1-2. Aleman licks his hand. Gets the ball in that right hand. He looks in to Troy Clonch. They agree on a sign. Working from the windup and delivers. Beautiful off speed that is loped foul.
So Franco, I just noticed that. He holds the ball in his pitching hand when he's standing at the windup, not in his glove. And then when he comes set, it's all so quick. It's all so snappy. It's almost like he's already decided what pitch he's going to throw before he even looks into Troy.
Yeah, that's a good point. He must change his grip so quickly. The 1-2, fouled away.
Either he changes his grip really quickly, because even right there, I mean, that was nearly a balk. The way he went so quickly, barely brought the throwing hand back into his glove. Either he changes his grip, like you said, instantaneously, or he knows what pitch he wants to throw, and he shakes off Troy until he gets it.
Maybe they're having that conversation. Clonch and the home plate umpire, Larry Rosenberg. Clonch brought the mask up so that he could talk to the home plate ump, but now they settle in. Fastball, strike 3 down the middle. Back-to-back strikeouts for Franco Aleman in the bottom of the 7th. 2 down and now 7 in a row that he's put away.
And we said it a lot in the beginning of the summer that Franco typically with 2 strikes will shake off his catcher. He wants to always go back to the fastball, and it's for situations like that. Hunter Goodman was not looking fastball at all, and his knees got buckled simply because the ball went right down the middle, and he didn't even realize that that pitch was coming in. He was looking breaking ball all the way, and Franco completely fooled him.
Ball is high and outside to start the count to Jared DeSantolo. Now 6 strikeouts on the evening for Aleman. The 1-0. Fastball down the pipe, 1-1. "79 pitches from Aleman, 58 strikes 21 balls, nearly a 3-to-1 strike-to-ball ratio. The 1-1. Cracked over towards Jackson Coots, and he catches it in the air. Line drive and a leaping catch from Coots, and Aleman goes 7 innings, no earned runs. He allows just 4 hits and walks 1, strikes out 6, and keeps Falmouth in the lead 2-0 as we head to the top of the 8th inning on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more. The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
2-0 your score as we head into the top of the 8th inning. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Falmouth.
Leading off for Falmouth, the center fielder.
Zach Deloach scored the first run of this game in the top of the first. Baron Radcliffe added to the score with a solo shot in the 7th. Austin Maisel watches a ball low. Kyle Murphy out for his first full inning of work. He came in with 1 out and 1 on in the 7th. Struck out back-to-back batters. Second pitch to Maisel is outside, 2-0. Maisel, 0 for 3 today. Line out, strikeout, and ground out. He watches a first strike. Late call from Rosenberg. It's 2-1. Sun now has fully set here at McKeon Park. Lights are on. 8:42 the time with 2 innings to go. Murphy delivers. Foul ball from Maisel, 2-2. Hyannis, a team that has lost a couple close games as of late. They lost by 3 runs last night against Chatham at Veterans Field, 4-1. The night before that, they played the Anglers at home, lost 6-3. Couple nights before that, 4-2 loss to Bourne. And in between those, a 2-0 win against Orleans. So they've been in some closer games.
Yeah.
Come up on the losing end of 3 of their last 4. The 3-1 is skied. It's going to land foul in the bleachers. Count still 2-2. Maisel batting in the 2 spot tonight. We traditionally see him in the bottom of the Commodores batting order. Playing center field tonight for Falmouth as Blake Dunn gets a night of rest.
That's what I said before the game, that it's not Blake Dunn who's always batting 2. It's just the center field position always batting 2.
3-2 count. Here's the pitch from number 32. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Goodman drops it. He moves out to his left and throws on to Ian Fair. It's the 2-3K for out number 1.
So Maisel having a very rare off night as he's 0 for 4. Typically we see him with about a hit. Not in every ball game he has. That would be a ridiculous hitting streak. But he's usually very consistent. Gets sparing at bats, but usually comes up with hits in them. And not so much this game.
And he was really solid against Hyannis in the first game that these two teams played back on June 12th. He was 3 for 4. Here's Zach Deloach. He thought about swinging at the off-speed first pitch, but he watches it for a ball. How about Kyle Murphy right now? 3 batters he's faced and 3 strikeouts.
Impressive. I mean, he was, like you said, when he came into the ball game just an inning ago, he was fantastic through the first 3 innings that he pitched in his start against Falmouth, but just got rattled around that second to third time through the order.
Curveball. Deloach tried to hold up his swing. Appeal down to the first base umpire. Again with the lefty. Deloach at the plate. Deloach extending his arm saying, what? How can you make that call? But he's rung up.
I don't think he went around either, but it looks like that when you're on the first base angle, because it looks like his wrist went around, but he's got strong enough, his forearms are strong enough that he held the bat head from going around. It was pretty obvious from our vantage point.
The 1-1. Fastball down the middle. He just gets a piece. Fouled back behind and towards us, 1-2.
And we've seen so many hitters bouncing those low pitches right below the knees into their feet or right into the plate, because both pitchers, I guess I should say pitching staffs, with Hyannis going to a couple, but both pitching staffs have been keeping a lot of really low pitches because they know Rosenberg has been calling it. The batters have adjusted, but it's really tough to make contact with those knee-high pitches and put them into fair play.
The 1-2 swung on and missed. High fastball, and Deloach couldn't lay off. He strikes out for the first time tonight. Now 4 straight Ks for Kyle Murphy.
The third baseman from Rice.
Yeah, so even if Hyannis is, not going to do much at the plate, their pitchers are giving themselves a chance. Yeah. I mean, this is a very rare instance where Hyannis is having incredible pitching performance. They won a game a couple days ago, 2-0, I believe.
Yeah.
So you just went over it. So their pitching has been, settling down recently, keeping low scoring, but the bats have been getting cold all together all at once.
Trey Cruz takes a curveball down the middle for a strike. Kyle Murphy, a rising redshirt senior with the Northeastern Huskies, 4.66 ERA last year, 66 Ks in 67 2/3 innings of work, so about a strikeout per inning for the righty. Trey Cruz, the switch hitter, takes a big cut on the changeup. He comes up empty. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that was like pretty much an all upper body swing. It was like he put his torso in a revolving door and just went after it.
0-2, 2 outs. Murphy with 4 strikeouts. That one goes right off of the arm of Larry Rosenberg, the home plate umpire. It's a ball inside that Goodman couldn't squeeze, and he has to shake it off, does Rosenberg.
Yeah, it looks like it hit him on the fingers, and it hurt a lot, so he went and threw his right hand towards third base. I thought he was punching out Cruz on a pitch clearly inside, but no, he was just trying to shake off the sting that was the baseball plunking him.
Hyannis and Falmouth, date number 4 on the season. So far, they're an even 500 against each other. They tied in the first matchup 9-9. Hyannis won 10-4 at Guff Fuller Field. Falmouth won 8-1 here at McKeon Park. Last year, these two teams played 8 times. 6 times in the regular season, Falmouth went 4-2. And then in the first round of the playoffs, Hyannis was the 2 seed, Falmouth the 3 seed, but the Doors swept in 2 games. 2 one-run ball games to send Falmouth to the Western Division Final. Hyannis this year, much different story. 6-21-1 and a long way out of the playoff picture. Line drive back to Murphy. He snags it off the bat of Trey Cruz, who makes hard contact yet again, but drops to 2 for 4. Brett Becker, the third base coach, jogging back towards the dugout. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 2-0 Falmouth. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
All right, Danny, I've driven the last couple times. It's time for you to start spending some gas money. Around the Cape League we go. And where are we going?
Let's do it. So let's take a trip out to Yarmouth. Okay. YD Red Sox victors over the Harwich Mariners 5-4. Make it back-to-back wins for YD. They beat Falmouth last night. Now they beat the last-place Mariners in a one-run ball game. Let's take it now out to Bourne, out west. Bourne and Katuitt tied up at 2 in the top of the 7th. That's a very interesting Western Division matchup. A lot of implications for Falmouth. Bourne in 4th place. They're a little bit behind the Commodores, but they've been winning recently. Katuitt just ahead of Falmouth at 2nd place. So interesting to see how that one pans out as it's tied up right now. Has a lot of implications for the Doors. Of course, this game 2-0 in the 8th. Top of the 7th now in Chatham between the Brewster Whitecaps and the Chatham Anglers. 2-1 in favor of visiting Brewster. The Wareham Gatemen and the Orleans Firebirds are off tonight, as every team was supposed to be off tonight. It's that scheduled off day, as most Mondays are in July. But rainouts have been a constant on the Cape this summer, so 8 teams are playing.
Yeah, looking at that YD score, a gut-wrenching loss for the Mariners. They were up 4-1, and then YD scored 4 in the bottom of the 8th. They tagged Jared Weatherby for 3 runs. Joe Boyle, an all-star from Notre Dame, came in for the final 2/3 of the 8th inning, gave up 1 earned run on 1 hit. His problem is walks. He walked 2 batters and struck out 2.
And he gets the loss, not even pitching an inning.
He gets the loss, and it's just his 2nd earned run of the summer. That decided the game for YD. Big come-from-behind win. Logan Hoffman now on the rubber for Falmouth. He fires a first pitch strike to Ian Fair. And Danny Logan Hoffman, an all-star reliever for the Commodores.
Very deservingly, too, because Logan has been fantastic for the Doors.
Curveball. Did he go around? Yes, he did. 0-2.
He has allowed only 1 earned run on the summer. It came on opening day when he threw 3 innings of work against Harwich and got the win. Got another win against Brewster on July 6th. July 10th was his final appearance of date.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's that beautiful curveball that broke to the outside. A 3-pitch strikeout to start off the All-Stars night.
And he's picking up right where he left off. That time against Katuitt, 2/3 of an inning, got a strikeout, only faced 3 batters. His summer ERA at .87 and 15 strikeouts compared to 6 walks in only about 10 and now 2/3 innings. He has been brilliant and definitely deserving of that all-star spot.
Swing and a foul ball from Jackson Olsen. Q&A just released by Max Trink, our web reporter, with Logan Hoffman. Be sure to check that out on the Commodores blog. He had one of those with Zach DeLoach as well, which was pretty funny. The 0-1. Fastball right down the pipe, 89 miles an hour. Logan Hoffman wears number 11. He's got that quick windup, quick delivery, stands at just 5'10", but he is awesome. The 0-2. Curveball swung on a miss, strike 3. It's dropped by Clonch. He moves out to his left and throws on to Jackson Coots. Back-to-back Ks for Hoffman.
So there's a belief in baseball that taller pitchers are always more valuable because they have a little more arm strength. They have a little bit more, physical attributes helping them out throw really fast pitches, and that sets you up for your breaking balls. Logan Hoffman at 5'10" pitches like he's 6'10". Because, I mean, this guy basically is a puppet master with some of these hitters. He's able to dictate where this ball goes so easily, and he's got a lot of zip on his fastball.
Starts off with a changeup to Anthony Servideo, and it's a strike. Hoffman wasting no time and throwing no balls. 7 pitches, all of them strikes. He settles with Clonch in the windup, delivers. This one hits Servideo on the right shin. Servideo will jog down to first base after he went to that off speed, but it just broke a little bit too sharply.
I started thinking immaculate inning after Hoffman worked 2 strikeouts on 3 pitches each, but I think he got a little bit too greedy. He wanted to go to the curveball again. It's been so sharp, and he's been throwing it pretty much wherever. He got a couple of guys to swing at it when it was bouncing off the plate. He thought he could do it again, but pulls it a little too far inside. Now we'll probably see him settle down a little bit against Jordan.
Hoffman will work from the stretch against the 9-hitter Rowdy Jordan. Fastball high to the man who's 0 for 2 on the night, and that ends a streak of 10 Harbor Hawks retired in a row between Aleman and Hoffman. And of those 10, 6 of them struck out.
Sheesh.
Aleman ends the night with 6 Ks. Hoffman already with 2. Pickoff move, he throws over to Coots. Servideo slides in safely, no problem.
Got to be careful with Rowdy Jordan because he's been struggling so much, but he's a guy who he's a fantastic baseball player. He hits the ball so well, and I could definitely see him coming on really soon. It's only a matter of time. You got to be careful. It's still a 2-run game.
Swing and a miss, strike one. Hoffman blows it by Rowdy Jordan. Servideo, who stands on first base, perfect 5 for 5 on stolen base attempts this summer.
Helps that Hoffman throws a lot of fastballs and has a really quick delivery. Might help out Troy Claunch, who's already 2 for 2, catching guys trying to steal.
Hoffman settles in the stretch. He looks towards third base, kicks and delivers. Fastball again, just fouled back. 1-2 the count.
So the radar gun here hasn't said that Hoffman has gotten to 90 yet, but I mean, that thing looked like a laser. He's got zip on it. That's the thing. It doesn't really register too hot, but when you throw it up and into a lefty like Jordan and don't really give him a chance to get his arms around, I don't know what it is about the way Logan pitches. Maybe it's the really quick delivery. Just makes everything seem so much faster than it is.
He shakes off Claunch twice. And a third time now with a long look in. He's got the glove on his left leg, finally agrees on the fourth sign. Rowdy Jordan swings and fouls back another fastball.
So like I predicted, he goes away from the curveball a little bit after hitting Servideo with one and decides to attack Jordan with a ton of fastballs. Rowdy's been behind on a lot of them, but just looking for one that he can maybe shoot into left field, go opposite field with it.
Middle infield playing back on the outfield grass. Trey Cruz back at third base as well. Jackson Coots with his right foot on the first base bag to hold on Servideo, who reached after getting hit on the second pitch of the AB. Hoffman barely kicks and delivers. It's a low changeup. 2-2. After a beautiful sunset, it is now completely dark here at Hyannis. The lights at McKeon Park allowing this game to keep going. 9 o'clock just about after this game started 40 minutes late. The 2-2. Curveball, strike 3. Rowdy Jordan knew it. He was already walking back to the dugout before the punch-out call. 3 strikeouts for Logan Hoffman. He hits just one batter. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base for the Harbor Hawks. To the 9th inning we go. It's 2-0 Commodores. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Top of the 9th inning, Hyannis has some work to do, but first they have to silence the Falmouth Bats and get it back to the bottom of the 9th. Still a 2-0 ball game. Kyle Murphy will try to continue his dominance. He's faced 5 batters, struck out 4 of them, and then made a huge play to end the bottom of the 8th inning, catching a line drive from Trey Cruz.
Yeah, he's been excellent, throwing a lot of strikes, and the Falmouth Bats seem to stay quiet no matter who they're facing.
Troy Claunch watches a slider low and away.
This is a huge opportunity to get insurance, though. This 2-0 lead, I mean, people might start to think that it's been all Falmouth, but it's still a very close game. Anything can happen. Just one swing of the bat, if you let a guy get on base, could tie the game, could win the game for Hyannis, so insurance is definitely the MO.
Ground ball foul towards the third base coach, Brett Becker. Troy Claunch has had a tough night, 2 strikeouts, and then grounding into a fielder's choice. in the 6th. Commodores trying to get a winning record against Hyannis as they are 1-1-1 against the Harbor Hawks. The 1-1 to Troy Clonch is poked back into the screen, 1-2. Yeah, and Danny, to speak on how it's just been a few swings of the bat, if you look at the first inning, 2 outs, a double and a single, both on the first pitch, all of a sudden you're up 1-0. And then in the top of the 7th, excuse me, Baron Radcliffe with a home run. Those have been the 3 swings that have changed the game. Ground ball back towards Kyle Murphy. He moseys on over to first and underhands it to Ian Fair. Now 6 in a row retired from Murphy as Clonch is a ground-out victim yet again.
Yeah, exactly. And you look at who Hyannis is bringing up in the 9th inning. They've got the top of the order. Jordan Westberg, Mosley, and Hauver. Granted, all 3 of those guys have been struggling mightily at the plate recently, but Westberg is a great hitter who's still batting over 300. Hauver has a lot of power. You got the cleanup hitter Goodman coming up if any of those guys can get on base. You got to be careful.
Jackson Coots line drive, but it's snagged by Servideo. That's the 2nd time tonight Jackson Coots has been robbed of a hit. Once out and left, and then a beautiful line drive, but just into the wrong spot.
Yeah, he's 0 for 4 officially, but really he could be 3 for 4. I mean, the line drive to right that was caught on a slide by Mosley was a pretty tough play on a very well-struck baseball. The fly out to left field, he hit a bomb, and it was tracked down by Hauver, and then that one probably could have snuck into right. So Jackson Coots is really lining up these pitches well, hitting a lot of line drives, but getting unlucky.
Swing and a miss from Radcliffe on the slider that broke low and in. He homered off of Drabick in the top of the 7th to put the game at 2-0. His 3rd home run of the year. And 3rd in 3 games. He will be one of the 6 players in the home run derby on Sunday. The 0-1. Strike at the knees.
It was so funny with Barron. It's just like he had that one game against Chatham where he hit 2 home runs, and all the coaches were like, yeah, let's throw him in. Yep. I mean, clearly he's capable.
I mean, he's 6'4", 235, and he was showing off at the Fenway workout. He shows off in BP every day.
Oh, yeah. It's like 500 feet in BP.
The 0-2 is high and away. That's why I think he's got a chance to win it. I really do.
Yeah.
Because he looks, I think, arguably better than anyone in the Cape League during batting practice, and that's what the home run derby is.
And he's got to go up against a guy like Cavadas, who hits a lot of home runs himself, has a good build, and has 7 home runs, which leads the Cape. And you might think that Barron's no chance, but still, he's got that ability. We just haven't seen it in game.
Check swing. He does hold up 2-2.
That'll be fun. We got to get out to Eldridge early and definitely watch that.
Oh, I'm definitely going out. The 2-2 with 2 outs. Low for ball 3. Full count to Baron Radcliffe for the first time tonight. He's had a couple 2-2 counts. Also a couple strikeouts in innings 2 and 5. He went down swinging. Kyle Murphy delivers. Chopped over towards first base. Nice reflexes by Ryan Eiley, first base coach, who will likely be the one throwing to Radcliffe in the home run derby.
Yeah, good point. He is the guy who throws BP constantly to the Doors lineup. And there's maybe some help from Eiley because Barron, again, like we said, always rakes in BP, so why not choose Eiley?
3-2, he just gets a piece of the curveball. There's a pretty pitch from Murphy, but Radcliffe does a good job to just get a piece and stay alive.
And like I said, his first time up, he still struck out, but he worked the at-bat really long. He's not going down so quickly on these pitches. Usually early in the season we saw 0-2, and immediately he gets put down on a simple fastball or a breaking ball that he swings right through. But he's making contact, and he's looking a lot better.
3-2 is roped into center field. It's a base hit for Baron Radcliffe, who moves to 2 for 4. And he breaks up Murphy's perfect outing. That's the first base runner that the righty has allowed.
And that's exactly why you want to foul off some of those pitches on 3 and 2. You might think it's all futile and he's just prolonging the inevitable, but you sometimes can force a mistake, whether it's 0-2, 1-2, 3-2. You know, that pitcher is finally going to come over the plate and try to just beat you one-on-one, and Barron doesn't. He doesn't get beat because Murphy went upstairs a little bit with it, went about bell tie, was out over the outside part of the plate, but caught a chunk of the plate, and Barron is able to shoot it right back where it came from.
He's stealing, sliding at second base. He's in safely. Rowdy Jordan thought he applied the tag in time. Safe, says Nick Zabilli, the field umpire.
Look at that, Barron. I think that's his first stolen base on the summer.
It is indeed.
And he just got a great jump. I mean, he's got some speed, got those long legs, but that jump was like no other. He was halfway down the line by the time that the ball was being caught behind home plate by Goodman.
If he can become a consistent player at the plate at Georgia Tech and this summer, I think he's a pro prospect for sure. Ball misses to Austin Langworthy. We saw the scouts drooling over him at Fenway.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of making it happen in games.
And he can be such a valuable addition to this lineup if he is that consistent guy who can hit home runs, steal bases, get extra base hits. Because a lot of times, you know, they're looking just for that one power plug who can knock in a couple runs on one swing of the bat.
The 1-1 to Langworthy is high and away. 6 hits on the evening for Falmouth. 2 for Trey Cruz. He has a pair of singles. 2 for Barron Radcliffe. Solo shot in the 7th and a single just now. Zach DeLoach doubled in the 1st. Austin Langworthy, who's at the plate now, singled in the 5th. The 2-1. Curveball right at first base to Ian Fair. Hard contact from Langworthy, but he is a line-out victim. We saw a couple of those this half inning from Coots and Langworthy. Radcliffe is left stranded after his 2-out single, so no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. To the bottom of the 9th we go. It's 2-0 Falmouth. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Urgent Care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Every team in the Cape League has their win song, which they play at home when they get a win. Falmouth's This Is Our House. Hyannis's is Jukebox Hero by Foreigner. It's only played 4 times this year. 4-11 is the home record of the Harbor Hawks. They're also 4-8-1 against the West Division. They won a 5th at home and a 2nd against the Commodores, but they need 2 runs at least to push it to the 10th. 3 would win it. And they're going up against Thomas Gerard, the new pitcher for the Falmouth Commodores.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He was the closer for Duke. He has 2 saves so far on the summer for Falmouth. His last time out, though, was his worst outing. It was his longest outing. It was a 2-2 game against the Brewster Whitecaps for the longest time, and they just kept throwing Gerard out there. He was pitching well, so they said, all right, let's push him for 3. In the 10th inning, he got tabbed for 2 earned runs on a hit and 4 walks, which was the biggest issue. He's letting guys reach base thanks to his own issues. Did rack up 3 strikeouts, got the loss when Falmouth ended up losing 4-3 thanks to the game-winning hit against him. On the summer, an 0-1 record, 3 ERA. This will be his 5th appearance. Only 6 innings of work so far because, like I said, that was his longest outing. Previous to then, he had never gone longer than an inning and 2/3. He's typically only used in very niche situations where they need a big strikeout or whether they need a save. And right now, they're calling upon him for one of those situations, a save.
He pitched just 2 nights ago against Brewster. He loaded the bases with some uncharacteristic walks. He had 4 against the Whitecaps. He hadn't had a walk all summer before that. And then he allows a 2-out single to Tyler Gentry. Put Brewster up 4-2. Doors added a run in the bottom of the 10th, but it was not enough. They dropped that game to the Whitecaps 4-3. Gerard trying to get back to his former self in his first 3 innings of work. He did not allow a base runner and struck out 5. Added 3 strikeouts his last time out, but those 3 walks were what did him in. We also saw some 3-ball counts, which we are not accustomed to seeing. Gerard, the righty from Duke, settles in the stretch and delivers a beautiful pitch for strike 1. 80 miles an hour off speed from Gerard.
And if anything, we're due to see him throw a 1-2-3 inning, because what he would do at Duke a lot is he led the team in 9 saves, but he had like a 1-5 record. And that's partially because he would rack up a ton of saves, he would look excellent, and then once out of a blue moon, he would really struggle. And that happened a couple of times throughout his spring season.
Another curveball stays about belt high to Westberg. It's not where Gerard wanted it, but it's still a strike. Gerard wears number 1 for the Doors, rising junior with the Duke Blue Devils. 5'11", 180 with that 2.33 ERA in his sophomore campaign. 9 saves and a 1-5 record, like my partner mentioned. The 0-2. Fastball back towards Gerard. It's up the middle. Jordan Westberg singles off of Thomas Gerard to start off the bottom of the 9th inning.
And that's the problem we saw with the previous pitch. You mentioned it, how it was a great curveball, dropped in right at the belt, which is not where you want to put curveballs. He got lucky because Westberg laid off. Then a response with a fastball that, again, is about belt high and catches way too much plate. On 0-2, Westberg is not going to miss that one as he tattoos it right back up the middle. So Gerard has to be a little bit more careful with where he places these pitches, especially against the guys he's going up against, because, I mean, he's facing the Hyannis top of the order. You got to be careful with only a 2-run lead.
Rigsby Mosley 0 for 3, 2 flyouts to left and a ground out to second. Gerard delivers a fastball, and this one's to Jackson Coots. He fields it and throws on to Kevin Kendall. Throw back to Gerard at first. No double play, but they get the lead runner, and a great play from Jackson Coots, who is in perfect position.
Jackson now with 2 excellent plays in the last couple of innings. Back in the 7th, he finished off the 7th inning by making a leaping catch on a line drive from Jared DeSantelo. In this inning, I mean, that's a pretty well-struck baseball. He has to field it on a backhand up on the infield grass, and he makes it look so smooth, doesn't miss a beat, and delivers a strike onto second base to get the lead runner. He's a natural outfielder, but he looks so comfortable at first.
One swing in the back can still tie this ball game. Trevor Hauver has 1 home run on the year. He's up at the plate against the righty. Off speed, strike 1. Looked like a changeup, 77 miles an hour.
That's what makes him so lethal. His fastball is so great, first pitch, and his curveball is changeup. Every single pitch he throws seems to tag the strike zone, and he changes the speed so much with them. They have so much movement, and he cycles them in so effectively.
The 0-1. Curveball again, strike at the thighs. 0-2 is the count, as Hauver did not even try to swing at that pitch.
Keeping him off pace, cycling in those breaking balls, and now I'm looking fastball high if I'm Gerard. I think that would be a great setup after those inside curves.
It was a fastball that Westberg singled to start off the bottom of the 9th. He was then retired on the fielder's choice from Coots to Kendall. Curveball that is taken for a ride, but well foul. And catching a break is Thomas Gerard. 0-2.
And that's exactly why I wouldn't go back to the curveball, because then Hauver's looking for it. He's thinking, well, he just dropped in 2 perfect curves in that same exact location. He might try it for a 3rd time. When you're down 0-2, you got to look for fastball, react to breaking ball, and it's a little bit easier when Gerard's been relying on it so much. It's much easier to react to it.
Hauver, 1 for 2 today. Walked, singled, and struck out. Gerard's fastball's high and away, but Hauver lays off. I'm getting flashbacks to June 22nd of last year. It was a 1-1 ball game that went into the 10th inning between Falmouth and Hyannis. Jack Little, the lockdown closer, finalist for Stopper of the Year with the Stanford Cardinal. He came in and gave up a walk-off double to Davis Wenzel, who was then drafted on the first day out of Baylor. Little also drafted from the Commodores. The 1-2 spiked in the dirt, 2-2.
I kind of sense that a little bit too. Only issue with that is that Hyannis just hasn't looked, so lifeless offensively this ball game. Yeah, they've gotten hits here and there. They've put runners on base at many different points, but never really doing much with them. Things have never really seemed too threatening. But again, anything can happen in the 9th inning.
He's worked the count to 2-2. Here's a curveball, taken for a ride out into center field. It one hops to Maisel. He throws in immediately to Kevin Kendall. Wasn't sure if he was going to try to dive. He opted for the safe play. Second single of the inning. Now runners on first and second with one out.
I couldn't really see because Tim Tawa was blocking me, the second baseman, but I thought that Maisel was going to catch it. It looked like it skipped up on him so quickly that he almost he almost was taken aback by the ball bouncing in front of him. I figured that he probably could have made the catch. It might have had to been a slide, like you said. I didn't have the best angle on it, but I'm shocked that he didn't go after it.
He took 2 steps in. It was so hard hit that then he put the brakes on and fielded it on a hop. Would have been a tough play to make and a risky one at that if he dove. Hunter Goodman watches a fastball inside, 1-0.
Everything has to be low now from Gerard. You cannot throw upstairs to Goodman. He's too good of a hitter. He leads the Cape in RBIs. And you're looking for a ground ball, too, because you want to turn that double play.
0 for 3 is Goodman with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. The 1-0 swung on and missed, and there is that low off speed, which Goodman can't connect on 1-1.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, even if he does make contact with it, he's probably just grounding it right back off the plate because it basically was caught off the plate by Troy Claunch, but it looks so juicy when it's coming over.
These teams now tied in hits with 6 apiece. Falmouth still up in the runs, 2-0. Last chance for Hyannis. The 1-1 curveball, high deep drive into left field, but with a read on it is Austin Langworthy. He makes the catch literally at the fence. 2 down.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be gone. I thought that one was out of here, but he catches a break because Goodman hit it off the end of the bat. I mean, he was right on that one. It was a hanger, pulled it, everything that you want to do with that baseball, but just a tad ahead of it, and it hit off the end of his lumber, which is why it was able to not go the distance and why Langworthy was able to settle under it.
Goodman has plenty of power. 7 doubles, 5 home runs for the cleanup man this year. He nearly had a walk-off.
That would have been a heartbreaker.
Jared DeSantolo, 0 for 3 today as well. He grounded out twice and lined out to Jackson Coots to end the 7th inning. Fastball just high and away, 1-0. DeSantolo wearing number 1 for Hyannis in the home white pinstripes with the orange lettering. Blue helmet for the lefty. Thomas Gerard wears number 1 for Falmouth. Black jersey, maroon number, and the black hat. Gerard comes settled in the stretch. Mosley on second, Hauver on first. Kicks and delivers, just fouled away on another low off-speed pitch, 1-1.
He has been getting so many swings at that pitch, and it's not a strike. I mean, it comes across looking really good, comes across really high and breaks so sharply, but every time it's just about at the cleat, at the laces of these hitters, but everyone's going after it. That just shows you how impressive that pitch is, that they know that it stays low, and it's still so impossible to lay off.
Settling with the glove at the belt, kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. High heat. Foul tipped into the mitt, 1-2. 1 strike away from ending this ball game and getting save number 3. Thomas Gerard will take his time. He has yet to settle in the rubber. DeSantolo digs in that left foot. He'll step back out of the batter's box and readjust the batting gloves.
Yeah, just prolong the suspense at this point.
Thomas Gerard moving that ball around behind his backside, looking in with his glove perched on his left leg. Settles in the stretch, glove at the letters, now down to the belt. Lifts his left leg and fires. Curveball, swung on and just fouled away.
Great piece of hitting by DeSantolo. That was such a sharply moving pitch, and he was able to stay right on it.
And that's the pitch he gets so many swings and misses on.
Hyannis has looked really good this inning. Those 2 singles, very hard hit. We saw a hard hit ground ball that lead to a fielder's choice, the loud out to left field. They've really lined up Gerard nicely. So you want to put him down here. You don't want to give them any more chances.
They've lost some close games leading up to this one. 2 3-run ball games, which they've dropped. Here's the 1-2. Cracked over towards shortstop, and then Tim Tawa diving throw. Did he get him? Yes, he did. Tim Tawa at second base, diving into right field, makes a full extension play, and throws on the dirt for the final out. What a play that possibly saved this game.
How about that? Everything was well struck from these Harbor Hawk hitters in the ninth inning. Thomas Gerard did not have his best stuff. We almost saw a walk-off home run. We almost saw 3 singles and things get dicey. Probably could have scored a run, would have made it a 1-run ball game. But Tim Tawa, the last second addition into the lineup, thrown in for Hayden Cantrell to play second base, a position he doesn't typically play. Normally, he's at short or third or in the outfield, but he looks like he is just belongs at second base because, I mean, come on, some of these plays we saw early in the game were incredible from him, and that one takes the cake. The full extension dive, the throw from his knees to first base just in the nick of time, all with a great Jackson Coots scoop. I mean, this thing was a real barn burner to the end in that ninth inning, and Tim Tawa finally caps it off. That was brilliant.
What a game for the Commodores. They get their 3rd shutout as a pitching staff on the summer. And Danny, let's talk about the pitching first. Aleman with his best start of the year. Hoffman and Gerard looked good.
Yeah, Franco Aleman continues to one-up himself, still with a 0 ERA on the summer, and he definitely deserved it. 7 innings of work, 4 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Nobody could really reach base against Franco. Every inning that guys reached base, it was usually only 1 each inning. They rarely ever got into scoring position. Only 1 inning in which 2 runners got on base against Franco, and that was with 2 outs. He was able to get out of it really quickly. He had everything working for him. Was getting a lot of contact and soft contact. Franco was fantastic. Logan Hoffman behind him, even better. The 1 inning of work and had 3 strikeouts. Thomas Gerard got things a little dicey, but he still gets the save as this pitching staff looks phenomenal in this ball game, which is a welcome sight after the last couple of days.
Hyannis pitching was solid as well. Connor Ash, 5 2/3, gives up just the 1 earned run and 8 strikeouts. Drabick gave up the solo shot to Barron Radcliffe. Danny, Falmouth bats just 6 hits, but Radcliffe and Cruz continue to produce.
I am so impressed by Trey Cruz these last couple of games. The fact that he has 2 hits in 5 of his last 6 games is just unreal.
Right.
And he had a hit right away from the get-go in the first inning. 2 outs. First pitch he sees of the ball game, he ropes into right field, and he brings home Zach DeLoach with it. That was all the runs that Falmouth needed, ended up winning in shutout fashion. They got some support from Barron Radcliffe with a home run. He also had a single. So those 2 guys, each with 2 hits on the ball game. And, you know, Trey Cruz, he's very streaky. He's in one of those hot stretches right now, and it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. Barron Radcliffe, on the other hand, he continues to balloon that batting average up further and further. It's hard to believe that he was batting 120 just about 10 days ago. Now he's well over 200, has another home run and another RBI, and the at-bats he's putting together have been brilliant. He's been working long counts, he's been getting a lot of foul balls, and he's been getting a lot of line drive hits. So it's great to see those guys very successful. Just a matter of time until the rest of this lineup catches fire once again.
Hyannis' win song, Jukebox Hero, will have to wait. For now, it's the Bengals playing Manic Monday over the loudspeakers here at McKeon Park. Falmouth gets another win. They move to 14-12-1 on the year. Franco Aleman gets the win. He's 2-0 on the summer, still with that 0 ERA. Thomas Gerard gets his 3rd save, and Connor Ash, despite a great outing, gets his 2nd loss. He is 0-2 on the summer. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks, 6-22-1. For my broadcast partner, Danny LaRose, our sideline reporter, Katie Florio, and my producer, Jamie Miller, I'm David Korzanowski saying so long and farewell from McKeon Park. We'll be back at home tomorrow for the first of 4 matchups this week against the Wareham Gatemen. See you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. First